Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see, we will be recapping the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 21. This is the Waterworks episode that we have been waiting on. So definitely let's get right on in and let's get started. Now, there's a lot to discuss. There were a lot of conversations, some more truthful than others, some more trifling than others, but we are definitely going to get to all of it. But first, I ask that you all please hit the like button on this video. It would help out this video so much because then YouTube will recommend this video to more people. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. All right, so let's get started. So in this first scene, it opens up where the last episode left off, which is Kiki and Melody talking about this alleged rumor. Now, I definitely took notes, so I'm going to have to look down and read to y'all just to keep everything straight, okay? So, of course, Kiki said that she was told that allegedly Marceau had an affair with 2 women, and that kind of made us all sick to our stomachs. But then it got even a little bit more specific. What's up, Phyllis? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. So this is where I go to my notes. So allegedly, there's a rumored affair about Marceau and Tisha's makeup artist. Allegedly, Stormy's makeup artist told Kiki's makeup artist about it, and Kiki wanted to get to the bottom of it. I think that that's fair, especially in this huge game of telephone. You're dealing with a total of 3 makeup artists, 1 husband, and 1 boyfriend. So definitely, I understand Kiki wanting to get to the bottom of it. This is her cousin, and for the most part, they've been cool. So I definitely get it. So what happens is, so Tisha had a problem with Kiki trying to bring to her that her husband may have been cheating. So I pose this question for all of y'all. If your significant other, if your man was cheating, would you want to be told about it? Would you want to know? I would want to know. I'm not saying that's not going to negate from the fact that it's going to hurt, but I would want to know. Kiki said in this scene to Melody that she was tired of her cousin looking like a fool and moving like an idiot. So she wanted to get to the bottom of things and bring it back to Tisha. We even learned that the alleged mistress's boyfriend learned of this rumored affair, and he was mad, and he even tried to DM Tisha to tell her. Tisha's reaction was, Kiki, did you tell this guy to tell me about Marceau cheating on me? That was her reaction. I would have been like, can you please tell me, some details? Do you have any pictures of them together? Is there receipts of them being at a hotel? And then I would have cross-referenced with Kiki. Yo, what did they tell you, to see if there's conflicting stories? But Tisha's reaction was to ask Kiki, did you tell him to DM me? That is stupid. That's not speaking, master's degree. That is just speaking foolishness. I cannot believe out of this whole situation, this whole love triangle, square, hectagon, she thinks to ask Kiki that. That is just so stupid to me. And then Kiki said, she was expecting me to fire my makeup artist for bringing me this information. And Melody said, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. She wants you to fire your makeup artist, but she's going to continue to retain the makeup artist that's having the affair, allegedly. Melody said, if sticking beside somebody was a person. This scene is hilarious, just Melody's reaction to everything. But it is so over the top. You had to take notes on it just to keep it straight. Let me go to the comments. Phyllis says, when you get time, I'd like info on hair care for locks. Absolutely, darling. You bet. I sure will. Because I use a few different for my scalp, and then what I mix together when I hydrate, some water and oil. I got you, Phyllis. Of course I would want to know. Thank you, Phyllis. Me too. I'm not saying you're not going to hurt Tisha, but baby, you cannot be in the dark when somebody's stepping out on you and disrespecting you. Hi, and yes, I would want to know. Thank you so much for being here, Cherie. Thank you. That is so sweet, Phyllis, for saying hello. Thank you for that. So, y'all, also Kiki and Melody, they touched on Tisha copying and pasting Stormy's shipping policy and putting it on her own website, but being too foolish to proofread it and notice the specific email address that you would contact Stormy if there was some issue with your product. That is ridiculous. And we are going to circle back around to that because it gets discussed a couple more times, including by the Scots. Okay. But we're going to get there. Don't worry. Oh, y'all are so sweet for saying hello to each other. All right. So I want to make sure that I'm covering everything here. Oh, yes. So Melody also said in this scene, because if y'all notice production, they flash back to season 1 like a few times. So also in this scene, Melody was saying, when it came to my marriage, Tisha said, where there's smoke, there's fire. So Melody returned Tisha's energy. She said, there's smoke, there's fire, and there's flames. And I'd like to add to that too, Melody, and say that there's got to be some lubricant. There's got to be some lube in this whole love triangle, love hectagon as well. With 2 makeup artists, a husband and a boyfriend, there's definitely some lube somewhere in addition to the smoke, the fire, and the flames. It's just a lot going on. All right, but let's move right along. So then we see the scene between Marceau and Maurice. This is really disturbing, this scene, and I'm just totally, I can't even really stomach Kimmy anymore. Because like if she was my sister, my friend, my co-worker, my neighbor, like you got to leave this man. This is ridiculous. So in this scene, and this is allegedly, in my opinion, he was fake buying her a Jeep. And he was saying, life is short and we don't have time. We don't have time. So, I have to buy her this Jeep. And then, of course, he tells his brother to meet him up there so that they can film this scene. And he was saying how she's been saying that she's wanted a Jeep. And he was trying to talk her into getting all these other vehicles. Or what about a Maybach? What about, all these other vehicles? And she said, no, I really want a Jeep so that my hair can blow in the wind. And Maurice has the nerve to say to Marceau, well, she really don't have any hair to blow in the wind. And Marceau just looked down. He was like, don't say that. Don't say that. I have to say, Marceau didn't even look like he was trying to hold back laughter. The reason why I say that is because I'm convinced that he didn't think that was funny. He didn't think that was a joke. And this is your wife, Maurice. Maurice treats Kimmy like she's the ex-wife that he has to pay thousands of dollars a month to in child support. And he throws darts at her face every day while at work. I work with a guy, by the way, who told me he used to do that. That he used to throw darts, at his wife's face, got the picture up and everything. But Maurice, that's how he treats Kimmy, with the absolute disrespect. I cannot believe that he would make a joke like that. And I don't care how he would try to brush that over. I'm guessing that Maurice says that for shock factor, so shock value, so that he gets talked about in the blogs. He must live by that silly rule that any type of publicity is good publicity. I don't think that's right though, Maurice. It's very trifling and disrespectful to say that about your wife. And she always wore wigs, even when she had a ton of hair. That's the hair that she's talking about that would be blowing in the wind. It would be her wig. How dare you say that? So I would be done. He's already disrespected her when Carlos King interviewed him. Bend over and take it. And then when he was on Fox Soul, his pride would not let him humble himself and apologize. Like the marriage would be over. And I'm sure Jalen was thinking, just when I try to come back around, even on camera, this is how my stepdad disrespects my mom again. So I would be done with him. There is no way that I would stay married to Maurice. I honestly believe he's always cheated. Just my opinion. That's a very valid opinion, Phyllis. Yeah, we're all on the same page. He's embarrassing her every episode. Yes, indeed. It is terrible. And then I hope that Carlos brings this up at the reunion. But the way that he lets the Scots maneuver and manipulate on this show, he's just going to let Maurice gloss it over. And Kimmy is going to pretend like it was a problem and then make an excuse for him, sadly. That was disgusting. I know, I totally agree. What's up, Pat? Thank you so much for being here. All right, so then we see where, so I want to make sure that I covered everything. Y'all know how I am about my notes, but that was pretty much it. Also, Maurice told Marceau that, I'm having a barbecue. Are you good? And Marceau was like, yeah, I don't really care about Courtney and Stormy. You can go ahead and invite them. And that was this scene. But I feel like Maurice, he doesn't care even if the blogs drag him. He's just geeked that we're all talking about him. So he says such an ignorant comment. But if I was Kimmy, like, he wouldn't be able to say such low down things at my expense. No way. Because somewhere up in there, I would feel like you're speaking from your heart. So then we have where Stormy and Courtney, they hook up or they film a scene together. And we learned that Stormy had strep throat, but it was trying to progress to toxic syndrome. And I was very shocked by that because I'm like, wow, I would have never thought strep throat could turn into toxic syndrome. I could see strep throat perhaps becoming the flu or pneumonia, but I'm also not a doctor. But, when I just think of toxic syndrome, I think of like, your monthly and using tampons. But I was like, wow. And Courtney was so sweet. He brought her some hot tea. And he said, I want my wife to be healthy. And I really feel like Louis and Courtney, they are some good husbands. I know, like, in the beginning, because we kind of didn't always feel for Stormy, and I think that kind of spilled over into people's opinions of Courtney. But you got to admit, he seems like a pretty solid guy, much more solid than the Scotsmen. Why doesn't Maurice think he's not the problem? He's the only one discussing sex 24/7. You're right, Southern Bella, and thank you so much for being here. I think it's because he doesn't have anything else to talk about. We never see him in court. Hell, we even saw Phaedra in court with the guy that had the tinted windows and was pulled over by the cops. We saw her with Bobby Brown. I think you can even pull that up still. But Maurice, nothing. He doesn't even mention any law-related work at all. All right. So in this scene, Stormy and Courtney, they were talking about, Kiki. So y'all see in the lower right corner, I have a picture of Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck, he's from the whole Daffy Duck crew, a Disney character. And, Stormy was making some jokes about Kiki and the Crime Stopper story, saying that the image of what appears to possibly look like her, I have to talk like in those terms, y'all, because the situation is, in litigation. But Stormy was saying Kiki reminded me of Darkwing with the purple. So I thought that was funny. So I definitely just wanted to show a little Darkwing. Shout out to Disney. His snarky comment about her hair shows how insensitive and callous he is as a husband. I totally agree with you, Southern Bella. Maurice is just awful. And Kimmy, he does not deserve you. And I'll be glad when she gets a clue. It appears the Scotsman was never showed affection. That is very insightful of you, Phyllis, and I have to agree. It's pretty clear they haven't seen like a very loving, respectful relationship where both parties in the romantic relationship respected each other. That's definitely obvious. All right, so then Stormy actually brought up Tisha copying and pasting Stormy's shipping policy and had the graphic designer paste it. And we're gonna discuss the whole graphic designer piece. According to Tisha, I'm gonna show y'all a tweet that I found on Twitter from a graphic designer who watched the episode last night. We're gonna get into that tweet and we're gonna discuss it all. So Stormy was saying that, this isn't the first time that people have just copied and pasted off of her website. So she didn't make a huge deal of it from her end, but she said that she felt embarrassment for Tisha because she didn't have the nerve to edit where it was Stormy's email address and put hers. Courtney thought he was tickled. He was like, she didn't proofread it. And Stormy said, no. And for questions regarding your products, it had my email address. Now, Tisha, come on. And you know what? And like, this is just my opinion if any of the Scotts are watching, because I mean, according to her, she's earned degrees. Like, did the professors ever question her term papers? Because I mean, if you've been writing papers, creating documents on your job, you would know to proofread, baby. And it definitely to take out someone's like personalized email address and plug in your own for your business. I just think this is just so ridiculous. And Stormy even said in this scene to her husband, Courtney, you know, for Marceau to have so much to say and to judge us as business owners. Remember, he even clowned the whole beauty industry, saying to Courtney when they met up at Black, you know, you talking about me, but you a man selling hair care products. Sir, that's the industry you want to be in. That's the $1 billion industry. And how it amazes me, and I've said this before, the beauty industry is so heavily saturated. There's all sorts of lines you can buy from, and they all doing good, okay? So I feel like there's the beauty industry, there's the blogging space. Those are the few industries where everybody can get paid. So Marceau has a lot to say. And again, I don't know if Carlos is going to take him and Tisha to task at the reunion. I know they've already filmed it. We'll just have to see. But I feel like they really need to get checked and examined and questioned at the reunion because they are full of ish. But we'll just have to see. And so Stormy lets Courtney know that there's going to be a barbecue at Maurice and Kimmy's house. And Courtney's like, I'm not going. And he clarified for Stormy that it's because of some of the people. We all know he don't F with Marceau. Stormy said, you're throwing me out there to the wolves. Courtney said, I ain't worried about you. Ain't no wolf there. It ain't gonna be no single wolf. I was thinking to myself, if I could read his mind, he's thinking because they all a bunch of PUSSIES. That's what you were thinking, Courtney, and I have to agree, okay? Especially Marceau. But we're still going to talk some more about this whole copying and pasting. And here we go. These people, what's up, Uppity, my girl? Y'all definitely subscribe to Uppity's page. She is so intelligent, articulate, and I love her coverage. She doesn't just cover TV show recaps and celebrity tea, but she discusses things that's happening internationally on a news level. She is very smart. Definitely check her out. All right. Yes, Tisha was being lazy. I know. I concur. Their life is smoke and mirrors. Absolutely. What's up, my girl? Thank you so much for being here. All right. So in this scene, we see where Tisha and Marceau, they are sitting up here lying, child. They up here caping for each other with this copy and paste. So first of all, she says, oh, you wearing your pink and black? I like it. And I was thinking, is that a women's t-shirt that he's wearing? And he needs to put on a bra while he's sitting up here talking about people. So did y'all peep? This is supposed to be the site for Tisha's realty business. She is allegedly a broker in the realty business. So she would have like realtors up under her and get like a percentage of their commission when they close on home sales. Well, when they were discussing the development of this realty business, and she was talking about, you know, the walls are going to be coming up and then the floors. And Marceau was saying, well, you're the one who wanted expensive floors, $26,000. And Tisha said, does that include the barber shop? And there was a third business, I think. So that was allegedly the barbershop whom the prospective owner, you know, recorded them. And those tapes were definitely revealed and some very good coverage. So that is the partner that they were allegedly trying to do business with, but allegedly, according to him, they did not come through. So what's amazing is that a lot of tea gets out on social media, and at least we're starting to see it in a visual form. And Carlos King is kind of making the Scots discuss all of this messy-ish, okay? So then in this scene, after they, fake talk the realty office, then, Marceau brings up someone calling the city of Huntsville about their casino night fundraiser, saying that they were going to do illegal gambling. Now, you all know that Wanda went live earlier this week where she claims that, people have been calling the police on Black. They even called the police and sent them to their house to say that the kids were there home alone. No, no, no. And I don't believe that for once. Because what millimeter would even care as much to track down their address? How would you even get their address and then send the cops there? If you want to troll, you just troll in people's comments, honey. You don't involve the popos. So none of us believe that for 1 second. But with this casino night, Marceau said that someone called the city of Huntsville. Now, it sounds like they never did get the city's permission, in my opinion, because Marceau in this scene says, I think I'm just going to cancel it. Really bad acting, Marceau. I think the city of Huntsville canceled it for you. I think that they canceled it and y'all couldn't go through with it. So then they're mad that, people called them out. Who knows who it was? It could have been a former employee that is disgruntled. It could have been someone that lives in Huntsville that learned about it and probably figured out, well, I know they ain't get no permit. Or it could have been one of their fellow neighbor business owners who knows how they move with the crowds. They were like, oh, no, 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 no. I'm shutting this down right now. And if I were to bet money, I know they ain't got no permits. And they called down to the city of Huntsville. But they should have gotten the permits. So I don't feel sorry for them that they had to cancel the fundraiser, because they should have, dotted their I's and crossed their T's, point blank, period. But then Tisha actually takes this to another level. She actually says that, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. We're trying to help the community and give away homes. The only person I know that has given away straight up homes was Oprah Winfrey, and she is a legit billionaire. In fact, the channel that you own right now is the channel that she founded, okay? So stop the cap with y'all, we're going to give away houses. I would hate to even, and I don't even want to get in no trouble with them to even say what I'm thinking that they would do with the fundraising money. But anyway, stop the cap. So then she actually equates people calling the city of Huntsville for no permits. She equates that to people coming for her marriage, people coming for their business, and she brings up the copying and pasting. So let me go to my notes, because what Marceau said was very interesting. So they bring up the copying and pasting. Tisha tries to blame her graphic designer. Now, y'all, I would imagine graphic designers, they got to be very busy. I doubt that this designer's only customer is Tisha Scott. I'm sure they're designing plenty of other businesses with a lot of traffic. They probably have to do maintenance on the super busy websites that they work for. So I doubt it that their job also includes that they are a writer. So Tisha would have been the writer of her own shipping policy. She literally was just emailing him content to put up on the website. So she was trying to say that she paid him a lot of money, and he didn't take out the address, and the email address, and she called him and said, what's this? And Marceau was like, well, we should have caught it, but was it a template? A template? Marceau, templates would not have specific email addresses for a particular business. It would have a bunch of blank lines for you to go back in and edit. They think that we're stupid, y'all. And I really hope, I hate that we have to depend on Carlos King. But I really hope that he is going to take them to task at the reunion, because them playing games, it can no longer fly, especially since he kicked off Destiny. He kicked her off of the show. So he needs to keep it 100 all the way around. What's up, Hannah Grace? Oh, I love your energy. Thank you so much for being here. I know y'all are subscribed to Hannah's channel. I adore it. I enjoy it so much. What's up, Ashley? Thank you so much for being here. Ashley says the money is starting to sound real funny every episode with the Scotts. You ain't kidding, girl. It is a hot mess. And what trips me out is that they don't even look like stressed out. Not saying that I want them to look stressed out, but keep it a buck, because this is some major ish that they are dealing with. Can they finish one business and home improvement before having 1,000 in flight at the same time? I know. And you don't need to say you were trying to give away homes. It's some people out here who legit need a place to stay, and they would have been relying on you for a roof over their head. Lord have mercy. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy it. I love you being here, Lizzie. Ashley says he could have just provided his proof that he got the event approved. That's a very good point, Ashley. That's how I know he didn't bother getting it approved. I don't even think they had the thought, like, oh, maybe we should get permission to gamble. Yeah, because everybody got to get permission when people open up casinos. Are you crazy? Where are they living these days? House, apartment, out in Bedrock? I believe it is still the apartment, because they haven't really confirmed that he's done renovating the house, right? Maybe it was people that they scammed. You're right. But of course, Wanda blamed it on millimeters. Yes, she did. And that was so trifling. And don't nobody care that much. They're too busy shopping on the 7th Avenue website to call the city of Huntsville. Give me a break. Tisha and Marceau are just getting some of their karma. I know, and ain't it whooping them like left and right? Tisha is a simpleton and is always the victim. Exactly. I totally agree. Why the front about the community philanthropy when they don't have a steady roof over their heads? Ooh, Southern Bella Reed, girl, goodness. Yes. How can you provide shelter for someone and yours is so iffy? Goodness. I don't believe a graphic designer would make a simple mistake like that. I don't think so either. They ain't cheap, okay? And I don't think that's their role, because they would be taking on a lot of responsibility if they were the writer of any verbiage that's on the website, especially policy. Then that means nothing would ever be on Tisha if products are jacked up or her shipping time gets out of whack. Her defense in court would be, well, my graphic designer wrote it. That doesn't make sense. I know if I was a designer for websites, I would have people e-sign a contract saying, I don't write your content and I'm not responsible for anything that you tell me to put on your website. That's a lie, okay? Exactly. Most graphic designers post what you send them. They're con artists, allegedly. They build the architecture, not the content. Thank you for that distinction, Southern Bella. Yes, y'all are so, I know the funny money. She was hilarious. What's up, Mumsy? Thank you for being here. They may have done the website themselves. Designer professionals never copy other person's work. Exactly. I think they just kind of went in and posted what she sent them. Thank you for clicking the like button, ADR. Can y'all please do me a solid and hit that like button as well? I would really appreciate it. They didn't have anyone buying tickets. That's the reason they canceled. Yeah, because we all know that they kind of suck at fundraising. Exactly. We are all on the same page. But let me make sure that we talked about everything. His little dumb excuse for it being a template, that was definitely not a template. And I think I have gone over everything. Okay, well, let's move right along, because here we go. So what's up, Cinnamon Swirl, my girl? Thank you so much for being here. All right, so now we get to the scene where the Waterworks happen. Kimmy and Maurice's house turns into a water park, thanks to Kiki. So then we see where it's not Courtney, Stormy comes by first, and she lets them know, that Courtney ain't coming. And she was just direct. She told Maurice, he don't see it for your brother. And then he was trying to say, oh, I thought they squashed it though. He still is mad. And Stormy was like, I'm not talking about my husband without him being here. She shut it down. Maurice didn't want that smoke, and he left it alone. So then we see where Melody makes it in, the Fletchers make it in, and Martell makes it in. And Martell, he refuses to respect Melody's boundaries. Obviously, she don't see it for you. She don't want to be bothered. And he had to like tap her shoulder, kind of give her like this, like a forced hug. And she just ignored him. So I'm like, when will he stop that creepy, icky, stalker type behavior? Like, you can just speak to everyone else. You don't have to try and get a reaction out of Mel. Tisha's tears weren't real. I know she ought to be shamed. That whole copy and paste thing is ridiculous. Isn't this the second time they had to postpone this gambling casino event? After the first time, he should have figured out how to do a casino, not with things they could do. Just my opinion. Absolutely. So I wanted to talk about that. And the Fletchers said in their confessional, Chris Fletcher said divorce can be complicated. Nell said, I see both sides. They work really hard at remaining neutral towards both Melody and Martell. And I think that shows that the Fletchers are really trying to keep the friendship with both parties solid. So, you can't help but respect that. So then, y'all, I want to point out because we're going to show, Tisha getting wet up. And then I want us to examine, Uppity did an amazing video. I watched it because I woke up really early this morning and I watched her video. She talked about Kimmy shoving Kiki. We're going to see that. I think we still kind of saw it at the end of this episode, but I'm going to examine how Marceau was running away from Amin. So Amin and Kiki walk in, and you can tell the tension was thick. You could cut it with a knife. And we're the viewers. We're just watching it through our TVs, through our devices. So Tisha was so disrespectful to Kiki. It was ridiculous. So first Kiki comes in. She tries to say hi. She's very pointed. She says, hi, Tisha. And Tisha's like, oh, excuse me, y'all. She gets up and walks away like high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's like a high school party. What, you trying to get Kiki to scrap with you or something? It was very dumb. So then I'm guessing the tension was so thick that Stormy even says to Tisha, you good? She's like, oh, yes, girl, I'm cool with everybody. And was like shuffling the cards. Oh, okay. So then Kiki comes back. She takes her seat. And she says to Stormy, because, remember, Tisha wouldn't meet with her. Kiki told Melody that she called her and said, I want to talk to you about something. Can you come over tomorrow? And I'm guessing if you've ever been there, if you've ever had a man cheat on you, you get like that pain in your stomach, that tightness in your chest. You know what time it is. I'm guessing that Tisha had that same feeling because she stood Kiki up. She did not meet with her about what she had to tell her. So then Kiki says to Stormy, well, I'll tell you. So then she proceeds to tell her, and the sounds that the production team were using to bleep out the makeup artist names was hilarious, okay? So she's telling Stormy that, my makeup artist says that allegedly Tisha's makeup artist is having an affair with Marceau. And while she's talking, Marceau and Tisha are speaking loud over Kiki. Like, y'all want to play this game? Yeah, we about to play these cards. We about to win. Kiki is ignoring them. She proceeds to tell Stormy. And then they have the nerve to say, Stormy, you got the 2 of hearts. You got the 2 of diamonds. And Stormy is just like, what? And then Kiki said, well, I tell you what. Here's your 2 of diamonds. Here's your 2 of hearts. So she's getting pissed because she's sick of being disrespected. So then she says, what was her line, y'all? Scratch your ass and all this stuff. Be mad, be glad, scratch your ass. And then she tossed the water at her. And Marceau had like a cigar in his mouth or in his hand. And he was like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. and Kiki gets up, and then they follow her. Tisha is soaking wet, y'all. She is soaking wet, like she just went through the water raft ride at the water park or down a water slide with one of her kids. And Kiki was tired of the disrespect. Now, I'm not saying that Kiki was right for being physical, but she is human. And I know we hear that a lot. You may think that it's cliche, but it's a truth. A person can only take so much disrespect. She's on camera. She's getting ignored when she tried to speak. And then when I say speak, say hello, she was ignored. And then when she's trying to talk to Stormy, y'all gonna talk over her. So she had to get Tisha's attention somehow, and she most certainly got it. Now, I don't really move like Kiki. It would take a lot for me to get physical, but I mainly just ignore. And if I feel like you're really trying to meddle with me, I'll just block out communication. But, Kiki flipped the water on her. And then Marcel was like, Kimmy, she got to go. She got to go. She just threw a whole drink on Tisha. And Tisha was like, I'm going in the house. And either they go or we go. And when Marcel said Kiki threw a drink on her, Kiki was like, and she was looking at both Marcel and Kimmy, just in case Kimmy try to like get smart and disrespectful to her. But if you noticed, all Kimmy was like, what happened? She didn't want Kiki's smoke because Kiki was like, and she was waiting on Kimmy to try it. And Kimmy would not go there. She did not want that smoke. But there was another person that didn't want the smoke, and his name is Marcel. So first he says this triggering, disrespectful line. Call the police and drug test your mother effing A, okay? And that totally activates Kiki and Amin. They start walking towards Marcel. Let's take a look. So then if you look in the top left, I'm going to shrink this lower picture. Oh shoot, I can't do that. I can only do it in Google Slides. If you look at the top left, you see where Marcel and Amin, I would say they're about 4 feet apart, maybe 5 feet. So then the closer Amin got to Marcel walked around. Now Marcel is totally in front of that window, and Amin is putting his stuff down so that he can have both hands free, okay? So they're getting a little closer, but Marcel is moving out the way. Then Marcel has moved away from that window back to like the lanai area, but he's more inward. And now Amin is by the window. So they were playing musical chairs. Amin wasn't playing. Let me rephrase that. Marcel was playing musical chairs to get away from Amin. But you have all this energy for females. But when a man steps up because you disrespected his wife, you're running, you're going in a circle. It's like he was playing musical chairs. Oh my gosh, he started out on that outer part near the yard, in front of the window, and back on the inner part of the lanai. Excuse me. Tisha is standing in front of Marcel, but Amin is standing in front of his wife. I cannot believe Marcel. I cannot stand him, but I want to get into these tweets. So I'm going to go back to my original copy because I can see it a little bit better. So the very first tweet is from a graphic designer. He says, as a website designer for 21 years, I can tell you right now, the designer did not provide that content. Tisha did. Designers don't develop content verbiage. You copied it and you didn't proof your own project before launch. That's your fault, not the designer. #LAMH. Another viewer said, I knew it. Marcel and Letitia thought they could add gambling to Black and didn't even go to the city for a permit. Yeah, Marcel, you and Tisha need to listen to the advice from the real business owners of Huntsville. Kelly says, Marcel likes to yell at women, but was running away from Amin. And I totally have to agree. This episode, it really brought up a lot of interesting topics. I'm going to make separate videos about the topics because we have to discuss. And I just cannot believe the way these people cape for each other. I cannot believe that Kimmy is still with Maurice. The divorce proceedings, they should be underway, in my opinion. I cannot believe how she is putting up with that. And if anybody wants to come up and sound off, because I know that the Scots are hella triggering, please feel free to do so. I have definitely dropped the link. But yeah, Marceau did a full 360 on the actual lanai. He was in the outer yard, and then he went by the window. And when Amin got closer, he was back on the inside of the lanai. And two women, Kimmy and Tisha, are in front of Marceau. That is the type of man he is. Thank you so much for being here, Brenda. You not late, darling. You right on time. Let me go back up. Marceau's classic thing to do is call the police and get a restraining order. Hello. Right. I wanted Kiki's husband to lay him out. I know. And he would have if Marceau hadn't ran. Yeah, Marceau, he should have ran track. Marceau was scared, definitely. All right now, Phyllis, yes, definitely a Karen while you're talking about Tiffany, but perhaps it takes one to know one. You know what I'm saying? I kept trying to see if where the water came from. All I saw on that table was the red and purple drink. Oh, maybe she had it. I wonder, did she come with it and it was always in her hand? Yeah, I didn't even take a look because I knew that they were playing cards, but that's a good point. Marcia is such a Karen. Absolutely. Scary, disrespectful Marceau. I know. We can tell Tisha and Water aren't super friendly. She acted like it was acid poured on her. She was embarrassed. That's what that was. But see, you have been disrespecting the girl from the moment that she got there. You know, what do you expect her to do? She's not Jesus. She's not going to give you this holy response to all the foolishness. Kiki was absolutely wrong, but I have all the empathy in the world for that being the straw that broke the camel's back. Absolutely, and very well said, Uppity. Basically, Uppity is saying she's not condoning the physical throwing of the water, but it was the straw that broke the camel's back. She empathized with her. That's beautiful. Corny, Tisha letting a man, Marcia, lead her is cringe. I totally agree, Ashley. And she is just like hooked on that man. I think Kiki only did what she did because Tisha was so disrespectful to her. Had Tisha just been cordial, she probably wouldn't have done all that. Exactly. Exactly. And then she's got all this anger for her. Like Kiki said, she should have been mad with the person, the right person, which is your husband, you know, and your makeup artist that you ain't willing to fire. Goodness, but you want Kiki to fire your makeup artist? Stormy had a sour face with Mel sitting by her playing cards. I did notice that. It's weird. It's like she sat next to her, but it's like she still want to be mad at her. I don't know why. I don't really see how you see the despicable cheater side. I know. What's up, Dee? Thank you so much for being here. Tisha is totally in denial about Marceau. Martell's anger runs deep. I couldn't imagine antagonizing a woman to that level. I know. And it's like the creepy behavior for me is too much. Kiki baptized Tisha. Yes, she did, girl. Baptized her in the funk, honey, like the Brat and Jermaine Dupri. Yes, absolutely. I love your channel, Uppity. I want to make sure I didn't miss out on any comments. Yes, when tickets are $10K in Alabama in a strip mall side and a whole establishment. Y'all tickle me how y'all get the Scots together. But y'all are so smart that you know what you're talking about. Let me see. What's up, Crystal? Thank you so much for being here. Love how Mel kept saying the winning team, the winning team. Yeah, Melody was having a good time and she wasn't going to let anybody try to bring her down with their negativity. And she ignored Martell and he kept it moving. I think when he sees the Fletchers there too, he, tries to behave himself. Tisha is a professional victim and Marceau is the Mitch, 100%. Kiki had her man there to back her up and dared them to do something. And I'm glad that Amin went there because he was needed, as he can see. She should have listened to Mel a long time ago. The facts, yeah. Season 1, absolutely. But Tisha would rather pretend like it's not happening than to face it. Kiki said that in her confessional, like she doesn't want to face it. And I have to agree with that. Kimmy protecting Tisha and Marcia because she fired her makeup artist at their direction over the alleged threesome. And that is just ridiculous. But she's doing whatever she can to hold on to that man child. Marceau is Tisha 2.0. All that talk and no walk, 100%. Maurice probably fought all his fights. Oh, when they were kids. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see what Marceau's response is going to be now that he's getting dragged on social media for running scared from Kiki's husband. I know. And there ain't nothing he can say about that because that is so ridiculous. Kimmy is full of crap, in my opinion. And I can tell that Kimmy has probably tried to act bougie towards Kiki. That's why Kiki was looking at her like, and she wanted to see what that lady was going to say. And Kimmy didn't say a doggone thing. What's up, French Queen? Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, it's your spouse in spirit.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm great. I said, let me go up here. I said, because I'm always commentary on, putting comments in your section. And I know we chit-chatted back and forth before, and you was like, I love your commentary. I may had another different, I'm not sure if I had a different picture, because this one is like fairly new.
Okay. Well, yeah, go ahead. Let me know what you thought, your thoughts of this episode.
You know what? I believe and I feel that they both was wrong, Tisha and Kiki, but I understand how Kiki felt because by her being ignored and being ghost and she asked her to come over and she didn't show. She at least could have called her and said, hey, listen, cousin, I'm not going to be able to make it. And, I think this is going back from years and years before this show even came on. So I think it's something between them two deeply. And Marceau is in between that because Tisha is letting him, sorry for calling Marceau her, but he act like one, allegedly. I'm going to put that out there. But he's been in between their relationship long before Love and Marriage, Huntsville came along.
You are totally right. Kiki has said that before. And I like how you said that. Like, I think it runs deep for years. And you said Marceau is getting in between them. I like that.
Yes. And then also, too, when they was, I don't even know if this is, they supposed to be their brand new workplace or something like that. And with the attached on barbershop. Is that what they were standing in?
Yeah, Tisha was trying to say that that's where her Realty office was going to be, and it was supposed to be in conjunction with that barbershop.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She can just miss me with the fake tears because you knew all this time what's been going on. You've been riding with your husband ever since. So I don't want to hear it. And me, allegedly, I can believe that she copy and pasted because she doesn't have her own originality.
Indeed, I agree with you. Melody said that too.
She doesn't. And see, I only seen bits of different clips of the show from yesterday because I was multitasking. And I'm just, he's not for her. I don't understand why Tisha cannot see that this man is not for her. And he's talking about he's gonna be with her, he's gonna ride with her, whatever. And even when she was crying, he didn't even console her. He didn't even say, come here, bring it in, let me give you a hug, let me give you a kiss. Nothing. They have no chemistry. I'm sorry if I'm getting upset, but they have no chemistry.
He was smacking her on her butt after she cried, and she didn't like it either.
That's all the Scots know. That's all they know. So I just hope one day that she wake up before it's too late. And to me, from being outside looking in, I feel like it's been too late, especially what's going on now. I know this been shot, what 4 or 5 months ago or so, however they do it now. The Scots is way over their head and over their heads, because they asked one, but there's two people. And I wish these two people get on a good foot for each other. She ride and die for him, because I seen the little clips of his birthday party, but he don't ride for her. So I'm just not understanding. Like, girl, can you see what's happening? I don't know. That's all I got for right now.
I'll come back around to you. Thank you for being here. Hello, Hannah. How are you?
Hello, Show Styles and Spirit. Thanks for letting me up. It's been a long time since I got a chance to join you on Sunday, but I'm glad I caught you today.
Yes, I'm glad you caught me too. I love to hear your commentary. What did you think your thoughts were on this episode?
What I thought about, I'm just going to start with Stormy and these products. Now, see, Stormy is saying that Letitia copied her website. But at the same time, Stormy is saying, look, I developed my own website. She says she developed it herself, or unless I missed something. It sounds like that's what she said. Okay, but now how is it that Tisha got your website and your exact ingredients without you giving them to her and saying, okay, here, this is what I did. And I think it was an oversight by both of them. But now Stormy is blaming Letitia, and Letitia is blaming the web designer, which we know is a flat out untruth there. Mm-hmm. So, I think that Stormy is in on it. She won't admit it. And it's something else that the husband said. I can't put my finger on it right now. I had to go back and look, because he said, oh, they didn't proofread it, or she didn't. At first he said she didn't proofread it, or they didn't proofread it, or something like that. So either way it go, I don't think that Letitia just went on to that website and got that. I think they were collaborating, because in my opinion, one of the content creators had the Stormy, one of Stormy's products, and Letitia's daughter's products, put them side by side. It was the exact same ingredients. Exact same. So you're telling me that Letitia copied everything, including, no, it didn't work. Like, in my opinion, Stormy is helping her with these products. And then you see that she's wrapping her daughter's, Mila and Mela, whatever their name is, sorry for mispronouncing, but she's covering that Stormy's bottles with her new,
labels.
Whatever labels, yeah. So it's crazy. No, ma'am, I don't believe it. But see, here's the problem that I have, is that they want us to believe what they're telling us, and we know it's not true. We know that it's not. I mean, they found out months ago that they had the same ingredients in the bottle. When they asked Letitia what was in it, she couldn't tell them. So now they're coming up with these stories. And you could tell in Letitia and Marcel's facial expression that they're in deep trouble somewhere, financially, wherever it is. All of these schemes that they have been getting by with for all this time, they got stopped in their track, and now they can't wiggle their way out of it. So they're mad at other people now. But no, if you had did the right thing from the beginning and just took small steps and developed your own products, stayed in and that's what Melody told them from the beginning. Let's just stay in our lane. They were trying to bogart in everybody's lane, get greedy, and not perfect anything. And now they find themselves in a world of financial distress.
You are so right. That's Oh, French Queen, I'm gonna say this real quick and then I'll let you respond to what Hannah said. That's really, really brilliant of you, Hannah, because you're right. Courtney, when Stormy said, oh yeah, Tisha copied and pasted my shipping policy, he didn't really look shocked. You know, he didn't say, what? All he said was he didn't proofread it. Like, you know, it wasn't a big deal. He wouldn't have had a problem with that. Because I know my reaction would have been like, she copied your stuff, girl. Is that what you let people do? Like, I would have been shocked that she even just went on her website and copied it. But so I think you're right. It was a collaboration and she knew of it. But now she's letting just Tisha and Marceau look dumb, separate from her. Yeah, and they still are faking it, even with her whole Realty office that she's designing. Look, Melody Cherie is making real money off her skincare products, and she works out of her house. She packs in her house, but they have to go out and get a building, and the building ain't even already finished and move in ready. They want to do new floors and new this and new that. They still pretending like they don't have no issues. French, what was your reaction to Hannah's commentary on that?
I was going to state that, well, we all see that Tisha is copying. She's being a copycat. Now she's doing the hair products line out of her, was supposed to be her manager or her manager of the girls' products, was out of her home. It's not even in her home. It's not even in Tisha's home. It's in another lady's home. Why not show in your home? You see what I'm saying? And if I'm not mistaken, allegedly they probably still in that apartment. They're still not in their dream home. So I'm thinking that's why they didn't show it there. And this is what I have a problem with. Carlos is still letting them not tell. This is a reality show. They are not telling their reality. And they saying, oh, well, they don't have to if they don't want to. Well, why not? They getting paid. Show us what's going on. Show us about you got court dates coming up. Show us, okay, you showed us a little bit about when you were standing in your upcoming office. Tell us what's going on with that. Tell us that, okay, it's supposed to be a barbershop that's supposed to be built, being built next door or being built inside or however. Give us some details in that, you know. Also, too, I want to say Melody tried. She tried to give Kimmy and Tisha the blueprint. They had it right. They had $1 million in their hands and they dropped the ball. They saying she was bougie and all of this, but you want the money, but you don't want to work for it. You want to be lazy. You want to copy off of Melody, because everything that Tisha does is being implemented off of what Melody came up with. And I think that was it for right now.
I want to ask you ladies this question. So Barbara asked, do you think that Stormy was Tisha's web designer? Do y'all think Stormy did their website and forgot to take out her own email address?
Yeah, that could be. I'll say that. I can. Yeah, I can vouch to that. I only. It's like yes and no. I'm a little iffy. I'm iffy because she did try to help Tisha with the products, but I'm thinking, yes, you helped her with the product. So you're saying whatever you sell, because it's like the same bottle, same products, whatever you sell, I get profit from it. So I feel that she has something to do with it. Yes. And then because I was looking at the website information, it's to the T. It matches. So she had to know. And then Courtney, you don't have to thank the funk with us. Just say like you said, Show Styles, he should have been more shook. Like, did she really do that? Did she really not know that this was your website that you built? And the same information is in her URL for her products, even though we know it's the same ingredients. So here's another thing where she got caught, because because she did not know what all her what ingredients, she couldn't even tell us one. Because she did not know, she gave herself away right there.
And the other thing is that she said that they had been working on this line for about 5 years. Okay, you're lying now. You're just flat out lying because you never said that before. But we do know for sure. I'm just gonna say it like this. I think that her and Stormy got together to sell these products. And then she was gonna get a certain percentage. Letitia was gonna get a percentage. They did not think it all the way through. They just threw it together haphazardly. They didn't think about the marketing. They didn't think about what if this. She just, just take this and Letitia. She probably told Letitia. Now I could believe that Letitia did hire a web designer, but I'm going with what your people are saying. What a couple of commenters have said is that, look, you give me the information and I develop your program for you, but I'm not going to get your information for you. You hand it to me and I put it where you want it. That's it. That's all. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they fraudulent in that, in my opinion. And Courtney knew about it because Stormy probably already told, and Marcel knew about it too. Cool. And I do agree with Frenchie that they probably went to her manager's house because they were still in that apartment. But from what I see, they're in their old home that they renovated because Letitia had showed some videos, some lines where her and Miss Wanda were actually in the house cooking using Miss Wanda's ingredients or whatever she called her seasonings. So. Mm-hmm.
But did you notice too? It was another clip or so in a different episode that it was a TV that was mounted on the wall. Now it's gone.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard, but I didn't see it. Yeah, they said it was it belonged to someone else, and the chandelier. They said the chandelier is gone too.
Yes.
Stop it! Y'all better stop.
No, I don't know which. It got to either be back 2 or 3 episodes back, and we only in what 6.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
So, and then also too the doorway. Something about the doorway. I don't know if it was open much more or was closed much more. I don't know. It was way different from what they first showed on the first episode. It's not like that now.
Okay. Now, what did y'all think about the whole? Because it's like a soap opera with the 2, 3 makeup artists, the makeup artist boyfriend, and Marceau. What did y'all think about that whole thing? Because that is unprofessional for you to be doing a lady's makeup, and allegedly the rumor is you messing around with her husband. Like, what were y'all thoughts on that foolishness?
Hannah, you want to go?
Okay, now I misunderstood the question. I did hear he said, say that again, show styles and spirit.
What were your thoughts on everything that Kiki told Melody about her makeup artist told her that Tisha's makeup artist allegedly had an affair with Marceau, and there was also possibly a threesome, and just all the foolishness behind all the makeup artists and how much they talk?
I'm just going to say this. I was on another YouTuber's live one day, and the question was, if your best friend husband was cheating on them, would you tell? That was the question. So I said, well, if it was me, if I had, evidence and I knew, I would tell. That was what I said. But then people started saying, well, some people just don't really want to know. And so you could create an environment, or you could create a situation where somebody could actually get hurt. You tell this girl that her husband cheating on, and she might go and confront this girl, and then you never know what might happen. So then I got to thinking, you know what, maybe I might not tell, but I don't really know. But I think that Kiki probably, if she don't have 100% evidence that happened, I don't think she should have been talking about, in my opinion, because she still say she don't know. She's still saying, I don't, because Melanie flat out asked her, do you think they had a threesome? She said, no, I don't believe it. Then she said, well, do you think that he was having an affair with the lady? She said, well, I don't know. Well, then why are you telling the girl then?
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling her just to say, well, this is a rumor that's going on and let's discuss it? What is your purpose for telling her? Now, that's what I'm missing.
I hear you. You want some hardcore receipts, not just the guy trying to DM Tisha too.
Right now, if she's being accused of something, if they accuse Kiki of saying, well, you do know that. See, the guy did say that. He said it. I think I heard it on the recording that he said that they had a threesome, but then he said, no, I wasn't telling the truth. I was just mad. So now what do you believe? So that's where I'm coming from. So I don't know. So I can see where Kiki wanted to tell Letitia what is actually going on. I would probably tell her what's going on, what the rumors are, but I wouldn't draw any conclusions. I would say this is what's going on just to let her know and move from there. But I don't know. It's confusing to me exactly what actually went on in that scenario.
Yeah, it is, because there's so many people involved. But you're saying you would keep it kind of light, like Tisha, this is what's been presented to me. You draw your own conclusions, cousin, because I don't really have hardcore proof. And then yeah.
Mm-hmm. I probably would let her know that. Yeah.
That's very good. What about you, French?
Well, I feel like this here. You can call me Jackie if you want.
Okay, Jackie, go ahead.
Or either it's French Quee, or you can call me Jackie.
Okay.
Oh, French. I was just trying to make it easy for you. That's all. Because I know if I put my
so you're my girl
there,
Jackie in the chat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you did. You got a different picture for your StreamYard. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
It kicked me out. StreamYard kicked me out, so I had to do a whole new, rhythm and rules there. So that's what happened. Okay, so this is how I feel. First of all, we can all say it can be all hearsay, because if he said yes, it was a threesome, and then no, I don't know because I was just mad. I just put that out there in the universe. Well, now we can't even believe neither one. So here's another thing. It's sketchy. When Kiki asked Tisha to come over to her home to discuss some, whatever, you notice Tisha didn't show up because, like you said, Show Styles, people may not even want to hear. Sometimes people may not want to hear what the truth is, or don't want to hear what's going on, and then you get that butterfly stuck in your stomach because you already know what's going on. You just not telling us, like the Scots do, sweep everything up underneath the rug. Okay, so I feel and believe, allegedly, we're gonna put it out there, she knows. So because if she didn't know, why didn't she call her cousin and say, I'm not coming over there, or I'll be, say something? Tisha knows a lot, but she doesn't reveal. Why? Because it's her husband. Why? Because if she do reveal any information, she already know he's going to be down her throat. Okay. And then another thing too, also, well, here's another thing. Wanda just told the universe that all the men on, LA, Love and Marriage Huntsville, that they are 304s. So go figure. I wouldn't put it past Marcel. I'm just telling you the truth, because he doesn't have no chemistry with his own wife. He has other chemistry with other people that's not even his wife. It's just like he don't even want to be with her. And what got me was when they first started that project on, trying to get, I don't know if it was about the hotel or some other type of project they was trying to build on. And she was supposed to have her own office, and he put Gino in her spot. He had already said on national television that he didn't want her as a partner. He didn't want to work with her. Do anyone recall that? Do you remember that?
Go ahead, Hannah.
I was saying, you said that he did not want to work with her.
He
That's talking
said
about
that.
at the reunion.
No, this was just on television. This was in not this episode, not this season. The season
See,
that. Hmm.
yeah, I think he don't want to work with Letitia because he know Letitia don't know what she's doing, and she's probably just in his way. And a lot of people don't want to work with their spouses, but I don't know. I think
He wanted her.
he has tried probably. Letitia just, I don't know. She just don't seem like she doesn't seem like the business woman that she's trying to pretend that she is. And then
Hmm.
they probably bumping heads. Like she's probably saying it one way because I think her major was business, so she's more, probably looking at the numbers and everything like that. And he's looking at it from his experience, which is trying to get over on somebody and trying, like he's been getting over on people. So they probably just bumping heads. I don't know. I probably wouldn't want to work with either one of them, but I can see where he's coming from though. But if they building together and she's over here with Macy and Mila, and she says she got a real estate company, and she says she, whatever else she's doing, but really, to really be fair about it, if she's 85% owner of that company, he should not have a choice whether he worked with her or not, because
And
it's
see,
her company.
I don't
And
believe something wrong with that part too. I'm sorry.
yeah, but see, here's the thing. She says she's 85% owner, and that's on paper, which makes her responsible. And then he wants to take over the business. So he shouldn't have a choice in the matter, to me, but he has black. He seemed like he's running black. I don't know. I can't answer. But what were you were asking us that question? I'm pretty sure you're going somewhere with that. So, but I don't know whether that makes a difference. Whether and like you said, he didn't want to console her, but he also said, I don't want to mess up your makeup. And I was with you. Well, aren't you gonna hug her? She crying.
Right. I'm like, oh, he just gonna just let her sit there. I'm just, for her to say she owned 85%. If she owned 85%, whatever she says really goes. He only got that little 15%. But everything that he's trying to, with them as a whole tries to do, he still takes it and run with it. He does what he wants to do, and well, she'll find out later on, from
Yeah.
somebody else or maybe him, because he gonna give you this long drawn out story that doesn't even make any sense or doesn't have anything to do with what we discussing, and she believes everything that he says. So she can be the one. She's a good one. She's really a good one, because if I'm 85%, I'm going to have a seat in that office, and you're going to be over there in the corner in your office, your little table. Okay. We're going to discuss together. We
Yeah.
ain't about just you by yourself, because I'm 85%, remember?
But didn't they have an office when Destiny came to visit them? What happened to that office where Letitia, they had designed it where it was blue walls and Letitia was,
Yeah.
what happened to that office?
They don't
I,
show it no more. They never seem to continue with anything. Because last
Mhm.
season, when he kicked Tisha out, it was to make room for another guy. And I know
Mhm.
that on another content creator channel, she found his LinkedIn, and it looks like he legit has business. But then we
Gino.
don't, yeah, Gino, and we don't
Mhm.
see him no more. So they never seem to finish anything, but they want to build houses for people that need a roof over their head.
No, they were trying to collect money for the wrong reasons, and nobody was going to see that money. Just like I think that someone found out that they did get some money or some what do you call it, sponsors for that Black Expo that they had, but they did not let anyone know that. They didn't open up the books to anyone.
Mhm.
They told Marcel basically changed the subject. See, that's when he changed the subject and said that Melody and Martell was not professional. And the Fletchers asked them about those sponsors. And they said, well, we heard that you couldn't get no speakers because you didn't want to pay anyone. That's when he started saying, well, we pay for everything out of our pocket, which we later found out that Kimmy and Maurice gave 100 and Stormy, where we saw what happened with that. But they found out that they did actually get sponsors. Well, where did the money go? Why didn't you get an accountant to help you explain where these calls came, or where the input, what you got coming in, what you had going out? That's why people don't want to deal with you, because you sneaky on this stuff. So that's my impression about that. But
well, I agree with you. I do. But my whole thing is they don't want an accountant, because Marcel wants to be able to take over. Well, he wants to be an overseer of the funds, and whatever he tells her, well, this is where the funds went to, she's going to believe it. She may put up a little cat fight or whatever, and then it's going to be done. But like Show Style said, they doesn't finish nothing that they start, And I just want to go back to reiterate with the hairstylist and all. It's a bunch of people that's in this ring, and there's one ringleader, okay? And I want to say that it will be allegedly Marcel. He knows exactly what's going on. And here's another thing. I'm gonna take you back just one reunion back. Remember when Tisha found the photographs of supposed to be an applicant that wanted a position of her body parts in his phone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Carlos, they never bring that back up. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like they can get to do what they want to do. So it's not, tell you the truth, I believe it's not going to even come up on this reunion. Well, you know what? They just had one, so I don't know if it came up on that one. But
yeah,
everything that Marcel and Martell do and Maurice do, it never comes back up to come back and bite them on the back, because Carlos know they wrong. They are wrong, and they are not showing the truth. So whatever happened between this threesome, if it happened, we would never know anything more about it, unless his name was Buzz, was the barbershop owner. Well,
But Jackie, right now you can't really even believe him, because he has switched 3 times.
That's what I was saying. If he come back and say, hey, listen, I have some more information. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think, right. I don't think it's going to come back up. I don't believe that. And then another thing. Now, when this reunion came up, and the one of the Tisha's hairstylists went off on Kiki. It's like, what was that all about?
That was a lady.
Right. Right. But
I'm sorry.
What? No, you're fine. So what my question is, why did you say that to her? Is it because you said something about the Kiki said something about in previous episodes advertisement of the threesome, or she saw you in your dressing room, what you had on? Why would she say that and put that out there?
She's mad. Well, I put it like this. She's only doing that because Letitia she wants to show loyalty to Letitia so she can keep her job. So now Letitia mad at Kiki. So I'm going to be mad at Kiki. And I'm going to show you that I'm aligned with Letitia by doing this. Now, we don't know, again, who telling the truth. There's no way for us to know unless, like you said, that girl admit, yes, me and Marcel and this lady had a threesome, and here are the pictures. Because ain't nobody going to believe her. Well, some people going to believe it, but Marcel going to always deny it, and Letitia going to deny it. And Miss Wanda may know something, because she did seem kind of upset by calling them all whatever she called them. Then everybody know that they ain't neither one of them no good. Martell wasn't the only one. like Melody said, Tisha thought that she seemed to think that Martell the only man in the universe that would cheat, but she got another thing coming because Martell, and Maurice, Derek, and allegedly everybody else up in there was cheating on their wife.
So you saying, Hannah, also, so the hairstylist want to be able to keep loyalty and her man?
She wanted
allegedly.
to keep. Well, see, I think that her and Buzz broke up. She wanted to keep her job as a makeup artist because she think, hey, now I'm in with Tisha. I'm good. I got this own check coming in, which she said wasn't that much. But I think she's just showing loyalty to Letitia. And she just saying what she got to say. The man, I think.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
To my Bugs.
I'm talking about Marcel.
Oh, Marcel.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't say they had an affair. They said they had a threesome, right?
That allegedly, yes, that's what was put out there. Mm-hmm. But so, I was being funny. I was just messing with you. But if he was in that threesome, then she trying to be loyalty to Tisha and him, to keep him, to keep her, keep Tisha, keep bribing her, keep going, with the flow, doing her hair and all of that, and making her look like a leprechaun and everything for the reunion and all of that good stuff. And then while she's doing that,
she's protecting Marcel too.
Right. On the side, exactly. So nothing else would come out. No,
I can see that,
if reality is supposed to be reality, it's supposed to come out. Like that, still those pics that was in his phone should have been out. Mm-hmm. So if you are not going to tell it, just don't say nothing at all.
But when you got Kiki up there talking to Melody, talking about she don't believe it and she don't know. I mean, right then and there, you put doubt in your own story. So, I mean,
still covering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I want to ask this question. Cinnamon Swirl asks, do you all think, or have you all ever seen any paperwork showing that Tisha is 85% owner of Scope?
Nope. That was my point earlier.
No. I'm sorry, Jack.
You seen some paperwork?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Have y'all seen Trending's reports over there on Zen Garden?
Oh, yes. I've seen
Oh, yeah. I forgot about her.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. She's thorough. Yes, I seen that, but is it true?
Well, that's what he put. Oh, I see what you're saying. Is that what is reported to the state? Yeah. Now, or to whoever, but I tell you
about the disposition.
Here's another thing. I think they said it was on too, those PPP loans, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Yikes. Tisha.
Let me say this, because allegedly his credit is not okay. Her name is just about on everything. Now, I did see trending information, but like I said, is it truthful? Because if he can manipulate Tisha to doing anything and then having her to sign on a dotted line, and it wouldn't shock me if he did so too, allegedly, her name.
I wouldn't doubt if they got her as 85% owner, only to, like Melody say, get more contracts, because when you're a Black minority woman, you get extra credits, I guess, or you're certified as a Black minority woman owned business. So I think that I haven't really actually seen it, but I heard I heard Trending say it in the depositions, and if you line in a deposition, you can. That's a legal, that you can be charged for perjury, or not? Is it perjury?
Yeah.
So when will Tisha be deposed? If she's 85% owner, you would have thought they would have deposed her first.
That's what I was thinking. I have no idea why they were just dealing with Martell, and they don't even. When Trendy did the witness list, they didn't even have Letitia on the witness list that Scope wanted to call.
That is interesting to me.
That me too.
I'm telling
Me
you, it's
too.
my company.
So
If it's her company, but like you know what, like Hannah was saying, her name was on there because how Melody was saying that if you're a woman in business, they can give you a little bit more. You know, you get more. I don't know if it's more
incentives.
money or
Yeah.
incentive. Okay,
And minority
then
credit, yeah.
but if my name is on, if my name is, if I own 85%, I want to know what's going in and out, what's being done. She don't ask those questions. She just sitting there letting Marceau run the show.
And see, she trusted him blindly, and that's another point that I'm having too. That Melody tried to help her. She can't say Melody did not try to help her. So now,
Right.
if she is allowing Marceau to do everything with this business, and she's trusting him blindly, and you say that we're $17 million, $1 million, whatever she said on
Millionaire. They
we are,
17.
our company is a $17 million company, a
Mm-hmm.
multi-million-dollar company. This is what she said. Now you go and did y'all see those documents Trinity showed us last week when
No, I didn't see those.
when they completed that loan application for the 900 and something $1,000 loan to complete their home. Letitia's name was on the top. Marceau's was on the bottom. Okay, then what happened was the lender decided, no, we're going to amend this now. We're not going to give you no 900 some $1,000. We're going to only give you 300 and some thousand. Y'all already got the money, and you've already paid taxes on the 900 and some thousand. So they had to amend that entire agreement. And this is why they're running around looking crazy now, because now they can't get the rest of that money to build that house. And they probably was taking that money, building their businesses. See, remember what he said. He said during the time they were working on the Zen Garden, they were also working on Black. They were also trying to build a barber shop. It was 3 or 4 things that he told Carlos he was working on at the same time. And that's, in my opinion, they took that money from Zen Garden. And I must say use the word convert, because you can't take money that's meant for one thing and use it for something else. So you're paying robbing Peter to pay Paul. Then you got caught up. Then you wasn't paying the your contractors. The contractors don't want to work with you now. So now you're behind on the major project that you're getting paid for. But you're taking the money from this man's apartment building that you're supposed to be. This is just my theory. This is all alleged, and in my opinion, that's how the cards came tumbling down on them, because they got in too deep. First of all, he lied on the whole bid. He underbid it. He messed the people's building up. Then they wouldn't pay him. Then he went and sued them. Now they suing him for $5.5 million.
He should not have bidded on that project if he doesn't have the experience to build something that huge. That's what it's giving to me. He ain't never had a undertaking like that before. He should not have gotten involved.
He
I
lied.
don't think he had building's license though either.
No, he was a general contractor. He was the general contractor, but he told them that he could take on the project and complete it, because he had did similar projects. Like
Right,
he had
but he supposed to show the paperwork
from the ground up, but he lied on the entire bid.
Right, but he told a story on that bid. But here's the thing, because the court system, every paperwork that they was wanted about building, he said, I can't recall, or I have to get that to you, or give it to my lawyer. Nothing is in black and white. The court still want to know in black and white who was who, why was they there, was you paying them, was they living in either Tennessee or Huntsville, wherever they was building at. That is still up in the air, because we don't have no paperwork to look at, to go over. So that's why they was drilling him. And while they was drilling him, he was getting all confused. And when he was getting confused, he would say, I can't recall. How you can't recall when you got this? you know, you got this person in place doing this, and you're supposed to be doing this. Your brother that lives somewhere else in another state, you know, they was asking him about, does he live in Huntsville? You know, and you know, he was all over the place.
That's a shame too, because that's why Zen Gardens countersued them. Like, when you're starting a business, you just steady putting money out. They needed that building to be finished so they could start making their money back. And you acting like you can handle something of that size and mess them up. That's a shame.
And then also too, when the what was it, the PP, what was it, PPL loans or the PP loans, and Zen Garden, all this, when all this was going on, remember, he went to Africa. Remember, Tisha was getting them BBLs. You know, remember, Lamborghini came up about. You know, all of this stuff was going, while this was going on, they was getting all this money. This is where the money was passing out to. This is where, you know, this is being paid out. I just don't get it.
I know, it's terrible. Cinnamon Swirl, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
Hi, ladies. Good evening. I just wanted to clear up something that I know just from my professional job. And I'm just going to drop down after I say it because I'm in the middle of cooking dinner. But so when it came to that modification of that loan, that $909,000 loan, so I've seen the paperwork on another CC's channel. So that was a construction loan. And see, I'm a senior mortgage underwriter and I do construction loans. So I can tell you why it was modified. So the original amount was almost $1 million, but then they only give you draws based on the work that you complete on the property. So that's why it was modified, because they gave them draws, but then it appears that they never finished the home. So therefore they will modify the loan amount to whatever they gave them, they dispersed funds for. So that's why you have that modification, and they lowered it down to 3 and some change. It's because it appears that's the amount of money they gave them draws on. And then so they did not complete the job, and therefore they cut off the construction loan.
Okay, they did.
Wow.
And right. And so, and then not only that, but when they give you draws, you have a certain amount of time, and the lender will send somebody out there to inspect the work that's completed. So you'll never get another penny from the bank unless you continue to build a house.
Makes sense.
Oh, I'm so glad you came up, Cinnamon.
Yes.
So can I ask you a question, Cinnamon Squirrel?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so in that scenario that you've just given us, it's possible that they can go back later on and get
No, they cannot go back and get any more money on that loan. They've modified it and closed the original amount. And the reason why they usually do that in most cases, in my opinion, I've never seen them do that other than the builder, whoever is not finishing the work. So it's a construction loan is almost like a home equity line of credit. You have a draw, you can keep drawing on it, but the only difference is that you have to complete work, different stages in a home. So they're released, for instance, they're released money to excavate, take down the trees, the rocks, whatever else you're doing. They're released money for that. Then they go to the next stage, the foundation, they're released money for that. So there's a point of time that, and it's usually 6 months. And if it's not completed by then, so it appears, in my opinion, based on what I'm seeing, is that they will release funds to complete work and they never finish the full project. So therefore what they would do, they close it out. They close out the original loan amount, and the loan amount would be based on what draws they have taken, what money they have released to them to build.
So I do have another question then for you. So, okay, if they gave them $300 and some thousand and they completed everything that they were supposed to complete, then they may have been able to get the other portion of the 900.
Right. They have to continue on. Every time they complete a certain part of the home, they keep releasing money. After 6 months, so they'll send an inspector out and say, okay, nothing's been done. Then they'll notify them and say, hey, Look at your terms of your draw agreement. And it says it gives a date and again a date for every percentage to be completed. And it's not like they don't give them, you can't just take your time and complete the project whenever you want to. There's a certain time that's set that they'll give them. And most banks will do 6 months.
So there's a possibility that they gave them $300 and some thousand to do.
They absolutely did. That's why they modified it to that amount. Now, one thing I was thinking, in my opinion, what could have happened, because Marcel is a criminal, in my opinion, allegedly. I could see him giving receipts saying we completed this, but they really did not. I can see him doing that, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because he thinks he's the smartest person in the room.
Mm-hmm. So if he didn't complete what he said he was going to do with that $300 and some thousand, you say you're going to have the house completely built for the 300, and then you needed next 600,000 coming and whatever.
No. So what happens is that when you come to a lender to get a construction loan, you send in all the documentation to support how much the house is going to be worth. And so based on that, they'll do the initial loan. And so based on the paperwork we've all seen, the initial loan was like $999 and some change was the initial loan amount. And then from that period on, once it's approved, then they start doing draws. They start releasing money based on work that's completed. So they can say, okay, they send in a receipt saying that we've excavated, we've torn down trees and blast rocks or whatever, and here's the receipt for doing it. At some point, they will go out. And I believe what happened is, because this is during COVID, so I believe that the inspector probably was not going out there in a timely manner like they usually do. So they're sending in receipts saying, hey, we completed this, we completed that. But I believe because of COVID and the delay and everything, that the inspectors probably were not going out on a regular schedule like they usually will. So they were just taking the receipts and they're saying, oh, we spent this amount of money. So the modification amount of $300 and something thousand, that was the money that was dispersed. So they didn't disperse the full almost $1 million. They dispersed the $300,000 and some change.
Remember when there was a drilling company that placed a lien? So that was for 60-something thousand. So do you think like they would have gotten that amount of money possibly from the bank and just never paid the drilling company?
They were required to pay them with some of that money, and it appears that they did not. So see, that's the problem. It appears that Marceau is not putting the money where it should be placed.
Mm-hmm.
So, and one other question, I think I have two, but so just to clarify, you made it very, very clear. But when I was saying was, if he took that $300,000 and did a part of what he was supposed to do, they came out and did the inspection, allegedly or whatever, and they found that he didn't use the money that he had appropriated for that particular project. Do they make you write everything? Give you a step by step. I'm gonna do spend this amount on this. Do they do it like that? Okay,
absolutely. So, it's almost like, okay, so it's an itemization of everything. And so, like, have you ever gone to purchase a new home and the builder they itemize everything? And so, people will go out to a new subdivision and they see the model. The model is laid out. It has every single option the builder has because it's the best thing you can get. And people go in and they say, I want my house just like the model. And they'll say, okay, well, here's the price list. And a lot of people say, oh, no, I can't afford that because there's so many upgrades. They upgrade the model for everything that most people don't usually put. They put the finest of everything. And granted, countertops, the best flooring, the best cabinets, everything. And a lot of people, they'll go in and when they give them that list, the breakdown of every single item, they say, okay, so if you get every single item in your home to match the model, this is what it will cost. Because, you'll see the big signs. You'll say prices starting at $400,000. That's the minimum base home. But when you start adding upgrades to items, your price goes up. So the same thing would be required when you have a construction loan. You itemize everything that you're going to put into the home.
So they told him exactly what with that 300 some $1,000, you should have done A, B, C, D, E, and F.
Right.
Based
on the information he gave them. Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
And I think I did have one more question, but I'll think of it before you get off.
Well,
so yeah, it's in my opinion, I believe that they got themselves in trouble. And they shut down that loan because the work was not progressing the way they agreed that it would progress.
And that's kind of like Lies More Lies question. She asked, can you explain if they got caught, if the bank realized, oh, they're using that money for other things, can it be held against them? Or like, does the loan suddenly become due like a balloon? Or
they can do that. Whenever you do a mortgage, there are disclosures that you sign, and it's an FBI cert, and it says that if they find fraudulent information, they can call the note. But most lenders realize that most people are not going to have that amount of money to give to a lender in 30 days. So what they would do, for instance, they modified that loan to if they have 15 years to pay that back. Because, they can call it, but will they get the money? So what the lenders, their aim is to get their money. So it doesn't really do them much good to call it. They can say, hey, you got 30 days to give us this almost $400,000 back. But in real life terms, most people don't have a cash flow where they can just write a check for that amount. So the bank doesn't want them to default because then they don't get anything. They want them to make payments.
So then in this case, if they have 15 years to pay it back, if they default on the loan, then it's the banks, just like it would be a regular house.
Right.
Okay.
But at this point, they're going off good faith and they're saying, this is the best that we probably can do at this point. We're going to go ahead and say they got 15 years to pay this back. It's a 15-year term mortgage now. They considered a closed-end loan now. It went from construction loan to a closed-end mortgage.
Okay.
Could they discharge that in bankruptcy, or how would that work?
Well, when it comes to property, it cannot be discharged in bankruptcy. It becomes a foreclosure.
Oh, okay. The bank,
just like a car loan. Gotcha. If you have a bankruptcy and you have an auto loan, it's gonna become a repossession. It's not going to be a part of the bankruptcy.
But sometimes in a bankruptcy, you can combine your bills and say, well, you can keep your house and you pay X amount of dollars.
That's a 13.
It doesn't
Chapter 13.
Yeah.
So right. That's a Chapter 13. When you keep your home, that's a Chapter 13, and you continue to make you make your full current mortgage payment, and then the past due amount is incorporated in your bankruptcy, and you pay the past due amount in the bankruptcy. So that's a Chapter 13. If someone does a Chapter 7 and they walk away from all their debt, they then have a foreclosure on their home. It's only a 13 when you can save your house. You continue to make regular payments to your mortgage company, and then the past due amount is included in your bankruptcies. So you're actually making two payments.
And then in this case, it might just be best for them to just default and give it back to the bank in lieu of filing bankruptcy, because I'm not in their case. I'm just saying if somebody else was in that case, they would be like, just take it back, because then now I got to put my businesses, because let her tell them they getting ready to start a realty company. They got blank, they got this, they got that. And then it's just, I don't know. It just seems really, really convoluted.
I believe they're in really big financial trouble. Mm-hmm. I really do. Based on what I'm saying, I see financial crisis. They're in a financial crisis. They really are.
But their Love and Marriage Huntsville money, I imagine that literally just goes towards monthly payments on the $300,000 modification, to make payroll for their Black employees, everything the kids need. Like, I don't even want to think about where they would be if they weren't on Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Right. And my understanding is that when it comes to Black, that they're in partnership with some other frat brothers, so they're not 100% owners.
Mm-hmm.
They let them be the face of Black because it's on a TV show.
They're on a TV show. Got
Right.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So payroll would not just be their responsibility. It's all based on their percentage of ownership. So like if we ever could see a K1, the K1 will show what their percentage of ownership is in Black. And then that says how much you're responsible for the running of the business.
Gotcha.
But the way they're portraying things, red bottom shoes, yachts, luxury cars, all of this stuff, you would never know that they're in financial stress. But it's just alleged. So we'll see how it works.
We'll see. We'll see, because one thing for sure, it all comes out in the end. And for that lender to modify that construction loan, they stopped doing some work that they needed to do. Because like I said, they're on a schedule to get that house completed. You can't just, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to take 3 years to build that. That's not how it works. You're on a schedule. And you sign paperwork saying that I would meet this time frame.
Okay. And Cinnamon Swirl Sunshine is asking, could the bank come for their commercial properties like Black if they don't finish paying off the $300,000?
Well, most likely in most cases, they don't go after any other property. They just will make it a foreclosure. But the reason why then they really don't want to foreclose on it is because it's not a finished house. So what are they going to do with, you know what I mean? They just have to turn around and sell, the land and whatever is out there, but it's not a completed house. So they really want them to pay that. And they are going to really work with them because it's not a completed project. So that's the risk. That's the risk of doing a construction loan to the lender. And I know for a fact, just because I do them, what that lender did was they saw his resume as a builder. Because when you're not a builder, there's so many additional layers that are added to the approval process that most people can't handle it. So if you're not a builder, then you have to hire a builder. And then that builder, they will scrutinize their resume, their credentials to make sure the work will get done. But in this case, because Marceau thinks he's a builder, in my opinion, I believe that, he submitted paperwork fraudulently, in my opinion, just like he did to Zen Gardens to show that he is a builder. And another thing is that he has to be really careful, because when it came to Zen Gardens, and I've always heard him say, I am a commercial builder. There's a difference between a commercial builder and a residential builder. Because remember how the Holts were residential, which are just single family homes or townhomes or whatever. Commercials usually got a condominium project, an apartment complex. It's like many different units.
Yeah. So he was saying that so he could try and trick people into qualifying for commercial projects.
Right. Now, he always said he was a commercial. Now, I do recall, because I've gone back to look at like the first season, and I remember him saying he was a general contractor. And then all of a sudden he started saying commercial real estate. And I believe he did that because remember how Tisha got that job at that commercial real estate company?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And remember how
hotel, yeah.
Right. And remember how they called, the lady from that company called Tisha on the phone and said, hey, you said that your husband's a commercial, you blah, blah, blah. Do you want the deal? Remember that situation that they showed on the show? Yes, so remember that. So yeah. And so also one thing I learned from looking at trending was there was a bank in Huntsville that said they would not lend them money for the Zen Garden project because he said Marceau was not a real builder. He was an actor pretending to be a commercial builder. Do you remember that from trending?
Yeah, they said, are you hiring an actor or a general contractor? Right. But he said he's a general contractor. He has a general contractor license. He did show us that. But are you saying that in order to build Zen Garden, he had to have a home builder's license?
Oh, absolutely. A general contractor cannot build apartment complex. Yeah, whole different work thing. Yeah,
you have
that
to
was
be
not
a home
sufficient.
builder or a commercial builder.
He has to be a commercial builder, and the requirements are so much larger for being a commercial builder. A general contractor is like stage one. It's the first step.
Is that like a handyman? A general contractor? Is that like a handyman that has like a Facebook page?
Exactly. Almost. It's like a step above it. Right. It's just like step one, step two. Right.
The way they explain the general contractor is responsible for, taking all of the money and making sure each, like the contractors making sure the pot of money that you have will be able to, you could afford distribute the money evenly and appropriately through, and you're managing that money for each project. That's kind of the way they explained it.
Right. So he was never a commercial builder. Now, I don't know if he was trying to use his uncle's credentials for that.
Is his uncle? He said his uncle was the superintendent. Was it the superintendent or the project manager? I think
something like that. Right,
the project manager.
Right. But I believe because Zen Garten was not very experienced himself, that's how he was able to fool them as much as he did. Because remember, this was their first project. And I believe, it was like the perfect storm. You had this company that was inexperienced.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this was their first project, Zen Gardens.
Wow.
I heard them say that.
Okay, that explains a lot why they would even choose it. So.
Yeah. But because think about it, and then most companies of that nature, they would say, well, how are you able to, because I think I heard them say the bid was under by everybody else by $1.5 million. So the first thing I would say is, show me how you can build this complex for $1.5 million less than everybody else. That's a lot of money.
But remember, the guy who owns Zen Garden said he had been in, if I'm not mistaken, he had been around construction for at least 20 years.
He's been around construction, but this is his first big project, right?
What I'm saying is he worked in, when I say around, he actually worked in construction for a long time. And this was his first, I guess, where he owns the actual building.
Right. Exactly. So it's two different things. You work in construction, but you've never had your own big project.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why I think they were able to fool him. See, Marceau, he's criminal. In my opinion, he's got some criminal mindset within him.
I guess, to be honest with this case here, is really sketchy on both sides. But I could see fault in what what Zen Garden did, but I think, in my opinion, the whole deal should be null and void because Marceau lied on that contract. He lied.
Yeah, and that's what they're going after is fraud. He fraud. It was all fraud. And so when you have fraud in the middle of it, see, Marceau shot himself in the foot. He knew he did not complete the work, and he went after them for money that he was not entitled to.
Yep.
So he shot himself in the foot by being, he thinks he's so smart. He just thinks, I know I didn't finish the deal, but they still owe me some money. No, you have to finish the deal in order to get the rest of the money. They dispersed money to him. So it sounds like he did the same thing on his construction loan that he did with Zen Garden.
Yeah, because Sunshine posted earlier, how did they even qualify for a $1 million construction loan when they have had to support documents to show like their assets?
Yes. Well, what they have to do is they need to provide income documentation, but I don't know if it was fraudulent or not. Or another thing they can also do is put up a lot of collateral. So, I know they said Tisha sold a big apartment building. Maybe they have some additional collateral that they put up also.
But that was years ago with the apartment building that Marcel said he was working at Scope not
Oh,
Scope, but
okay. Was it okay?
movie theater, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken. But
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. I think that in my opinion, they took on too much. He was more focused on his business as Black and everything else, all at the same time trying to build Zen Garden.
Right. I believe, in my opinion, that some of the money they use for Black.
That's what I'm saying. It really should have been going to that Zen Garden project. Is that what you're saying, Cinnamon?
Yeah. And then also the house that they were building. But he started, dipping and dabbing in that money to finish Black.
They commingle funds.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ooh.
That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know for sure. That's just my opinion based on what I'm hearing.
And also with that, with his bid, when he said he was going to pay the superintendent X amount of dollars, he was going to pay not the general contractor because he's a general contractor, but the project manager. He never hired those people. So what
he never hired them.
So he basically was paying himself.
Exactly. Exactly.
It could go no other way. If you didn't hire the people, where did the money go? In your pocket. So you're trying to do all of those jobs yourself. And then they said that they actually had, some people out there that really didn't know what they were doing. So if they hired Billy Bob to come out there and be the superintendent, you were giving him money, but he didn't know what he was doing.
Exactly. Yeah. So he started out, his bid was way too low for the project, $1.5 million. So he had to try to make that up somewhere. And so what it looks like he did was he hired inexperienced help. So remember that section where I think it was the clubhouse where they had to tear a portion of it down because it wasn't tall enough?
Yeah, it was 3 feet shorter than it should have been.
Right. That was showing the lack of experience right there.
That is a shame.
Lack of experience and, like you say, supervision. No one was actually monitoring that project that should have been monitoring it.
Yeah.
And Zen Garden, they should not have gone with the cheaper. You can't always go cheap on everything.
Right. What they should have said was that I need you to show us how you can underbid everybody else by $1.5 million. That's a lot of money. And so I would make him show me how. How can you underbid everybody else? Now you're talking about a couple $1,000, okay. But $1.5 million, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Do you think that they would hold that against Zen Garden in the court case, the judge or the jury?
I don't know, but I can say this: whenever you just try to deceive someone, it's really your fault.
That's what I'm thinking too. It should be it again. I always go back to that whole bid should have been, the whole deal should go back to the beginning, which you can't go back to the beginning, but because he calls them damages, he should have to pay them.
Absolutely. And wasn't there an accident because one of the part of the road was messed up?
Yeah, and somebody sued Zen Garden.
Yeah. See the mess he made? So Zen Garden was irresponsible for not listening to that banker who said, don't hire this guy. He is an actor. He's an actor playing a commercial developer. He's playing that. That's not really what he does.
I kind of see it both ways, because if I have a project going on and somebody come in here and tell me they can do something, I'm gonna do some research. But if I can get it for $1,000 less, more than likely I'm gonna probably go with that and just pray for the best,
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes it doesn't work for you though.
And Marcel, he made it look good by adding his uncle. See, I think his uncle has an extensive resume. And so he added his uncle on there with all his experience. And that's going to probably come back to bite him, because I can't really see his uncle, because that's going to be his reputation and he'll be liable.
Yeah. Did you
so
see
I can't see his uncle lying for him.
Me neither. Did you see when him and Letitia and Marcel went to Houston and they sat
Yeah,
down with the uncle and his wife? That
yeah.
man was looking at Marcel. Now, as I look back on it, Marcel said, asked him something. Is something wrong? That guy was like, I can't remember if that's exactly what he asked, but that uncle looked really disturbed with Marcel.
Yes, he did. He looked to me, hindsight is like he was saying, don't get me in no mess. Or he was saying, okay, I guess this is just for TV. You know what I mean? This is
Right.
just all for the television show. Yeah.
But if you use my name and my
Mhm.
credentials, we're going to have a problem because, I want to keep my stuff professional. And Marceau had that man's name on that bid
Yeah.
and did not hire him. And
Yeah.
then later on, he went and said that he's no longer working with the company. He
Yep.
put them, I think Marceau just put them people's name on that paper and then asked them nothing.
Yeah, that's what I believe. He didn't even come to them and say, is it okay? I don't believe he did that because I think his uncle understands how serious this is and he's not going to play around because this is his livelihood and also liability will fall on him.
Yes, I agree. I agree to that.
Well, I can't say that a lot of people would feel sorry for Marceau and Letitia at this point. And the reason I can't say it is because listening to that other lady's story where she said they took $400 and some $1,000 from her when she tried to, make an extension to her business and she was losing so much money every month because he didn't finish it. When you do people like that, and then that other guy got real upset with him too because Marceau told that guy apparently that he had pulled the bids for the barbershop, and this guy wanted to get the barbershop built and get on with his business to start making money. And that guy, Marceau, hadn't even pulled the permits. So he was lying to this guy. So I can't feel sorry for them when you're cheating people and lying to people, taking their money. And then once you get their money, then you like kiss my behind. No, it doesn't work.
And that's what it looks like he was doing. Oh, I got your money now. How you going to get it back? Now I'm in control. You know what I mean? Oh, before I got your money, I had to be nice to you. I had to make it seem like I was going to, do this good job for you. But once I got your money, now the ball is in my court.
And the lady said she was so upset about her chandelier.
Mm-hmm.
She was upset about more than that.
And the floor. Yeah, but just something as simple as, can you give me my chandelier, you scammer? I paid for it.
She needs to take them to court, her and the other guy. I don't care if they think they can't afford it. So I had a contractor. He was just doing a little bit of outside work and it was going to be like $5,000. So I gave him $1,500 to start the job. He would come for like an hour, then he would leave, and this went on for like a month. And so I ended up taking him to court, and I won. And when we went to court, my last conversation with him, I was hot, and I had said to him, "You better get your black ass over here now." So he went and told the judge, and the judge said, "So." He said, "She paid." He did. He said, "I don't care about that." He said, "You took her money and did not complete the work. And at this point, you're going to give her money back."
Well.
So, and I did it for $1,500. You think I will let those people get that much money? They need to file charges against them. They should not let them get away with it. But this is what they're used to doing. And this Zen Gardens case is catching up to them. I believe this is their karma coming to get them. All that, and they did this dirt, I believe, after Zen Garden. But see, again, he thinks he's so smart. He know he didn't finish the job, but he wants to get paid.
Yeah,
but you ain't finished the job. The entitlement of it all.
You got to be arrogant to sue somebody for a project that you did not finish. That's crazy.
The entitlement of it all. I know I didn't finish, but you're going to give me what you owe me. No, you don't get what we owe you until you finish. And at that point, they had to hire another company to finish it.
Yeah, that takes money.
They probably were calling him, 20, 30 times a day. He probably like blocked your calls because they want him to finish the job.
Wow.
And so they had to hire somebody else to finish the job.
And this is high time for that lady, the medical worker and the barbershop guy. Y'all are right. They should join forces. Tiff is saying you don't even need a lot of money to form a
You
class
don't.
action lawsuit. It just takes at least 2 people.
2 people, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
They need to come together and sue them. And Tisha's crying on this episode. Why is everybody picking on me? Why don't they like us? I give back to the community. No, you don't. You steal from the community.
Exactly.
That's why nobody likes you.
Oh wow!
And so remember when Wanda was calling them an ATM? That's where they get all that money from.
Oh,
they just
absolutely.
taking all this money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And not only that, I think I'm sorry, Jackie.
Go ahead.
I was just saying they probably started that chocolate in a bottle around the same time. All of that happened around the same time when they got that big contract. They started bragging, "Oh, we're $17 million company."
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yeah. Yep. And he spent all that money on the wrong things. He couldn't even wouldn't even buy a decent sized house for his family to live in. His family has outgrown that little house, but because he used the money for the wrong thing.
I don't think he even wants the family, to tell you the truth.
I don't think so either.
The kids don't even want him. The girls wasn't even interested in the commercial that Tisha was caught herself doing. I mean, you just get them off the show. I can't no more.
It's all a storyline at this point. See, I believe, in my opinion, they're really trying to hold on because this is their steady income.
Mm-hmm.
This is their steady income. So
it is.
What is this like? Their 6th season now, so that's money that they're used to. They're used to getting this money from Love and Marriage Huntsville, so they don't want to lose it. Yeah, they don't want to lose it.
They would panic if Mel walked, if she left, because they need this money. Now I see, now that you've broken down the construction loan alone, the construction loan would eat up a huge portion of their Love and Marriage Huntsville money per month.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know how much they pay them. It's not like Bravo where they pay.
It's not.
Some stars, big money. Now I've heard that Mel makes the most, and she should, because it's her show. I don't care what anybody says about, well, they can never do it without the Scotts. No, if it was not for Mel, her unfortunate marriage, and her just telling about her marriage, they would be nowhere. Season 1, it would have been canceled, but it was because of her being real about what was going on in her life that they can continue on season after season after season. So no, she should get paid the most. She should get paid for her pain. And then not only that, and then she had all these other families part of the show, the original 6, but they never showed anything that was real in their life.
Now they have to.
Now they have to. Right, because I believe that Carlos saw those the ratings going down, and he wants to keep his show. And I believe he said, hey, that agreement we had that we won't talk about your infidelity, and we'll let you. He pretty much let Marceau control what was going to be shown about their life.
Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, I think that they even lied to Carlos from the beginning, saying that they are from Detroit. They are from Pontiac.
Pontiac, right?
Remember that last reunion, Carlos like, Detroit's in the house. I think they lied to that man from the beginning. They have lied, and this is and when you said that you don't believe Marceau really wanted to build a house for his family, I think that he probably could have. They wanted that Scott Manor. They did want that because he said, we bought this 10 acres of land. This is our land, which they probably got the money from the bank, but Letitia's name is on that loan for that house, which leads me to believe that she really wanted her dream house.
And she absolutely did, yeah. And I believe I know Kimmy didn't really want to live that close to Tisha, but I really believe that Kimmy didn't want to be involved because she knew that things would probably go wrong just based on the arrogance of Marceau.
His history, track
record. She even said that if Tisha wasn't her sister-in-law, she wouldn't be dealing with
her.
Yes, she did.
I believe it wasn't just because she didn't want to be living near Tisha. I believe it was a lot to do with, she's like, no, we're not gonna put any stock in this. She knows how they're shady. that she knows.
Yeah, because
she
at one
may not
point,
say it, but she knows how
she
shady they
knows.
are. She
Letitia was
knows.
talking about getting a home for her mom out there.
Mm-hmm.
Maurice, not Maurice, but Maurice was saying that ain't nobody saying nothing about when Kimmy asked Letitia about this home about two episodes ago. What did Letitia say? Nope.
Nope.
Have you heard anything? Nope. That's
Nope.
all she said. But you have heard something because by that time you had heard that that loan was modified.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why it's nope, because she don't see, because she's not going to tell the truth about what's going on.
Exactly.
So it's like, oh, we don't know. It's being worked on. It will move in one day.
Phyllis says that she believes Tisha may have been misled on some things as well. Do you think perhaps she didn't know how bad things were?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe that because she's not involved in the everyday,
Exactly.
she's a real estate agent. She sells houses. There's a big difference between the two.
And then also too, I think, my opinion, I'm gonna put allegedly in there a little bit too. I believe Marceau is setting Tisha up because even she's supposed to own this 85%. Her name was first on maybe 1-2 documents or so, and his name way at the bottom. Something is it's not right with me. Something is wrong. I think before he get taken down, he wants her to get taken down before he do.
Well, he wants it to appear that she's the owner. My thing is that when I go to the Secretary of State in Tennessee and then also in Alabama, her name doesn't show. So it's not adding up for me. Now, the articles of incorporation, maybe it shows there. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask Miss Black Titanic because I think she may have that paperwork. Because maybe it shows on the articles and not on the Secretary of State site. But usually, if you're 85% ownership, you're going to show on the Secretary of State, you're going to show as ownership on that.
Exactly.
On that site. So that's why I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, let me ask you, do they have the owner or do they have the person that they have the officials? I don't know if they actually have, because I've seen quite some of those the website.
It's different from state by state. But one thing I can tell you, like the registered agent is really nothing. Well, see, I live in the state of Virginia, so I can just go to somebody, like people, that's their job to be a registered agent for a corporation, because it's like you have to have an S corp or limited LLC in order to do a registered agent, not a Schedule C small business. So if I myself, I have some LLCs. So I can go to somebody, I can look up somebody in the state site and say, and call them up and say, I want you to be my registered agent. They are just the person that, if there's any lawsuits, any important paperwork as far as the business is concerned, is sent to them and they give it to the owners of the business.
So that's what
But in Virginia, the owner has to show on the state site. Okay. It'll show the owner. And a lot of times, the owner is the president and the CEO. Sometimes they're not, but that's only for like large companies, like for instance, like IBM, that caliber of a business.
Yeah. But
when it comes to scope,
when they're doing those registering those companies with the state, they just be putting stuff up there.
Yes, absolutely. And then at one point, because I know how to go out there and look for that, because see, not doing mortgage lending, people come to us, they're self-employed, they have their own business. So I analyze business tax returns all day, S corp, corporation tax returns. I analyze all of those, and I have for the last, how many years has it been? 35 years? So I know exactly what I'm looking at.
Wow. Congrats. I got to applaud you. Tip my hat off to you because you in it.
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm 60 now, so I'm at the end of it. But and I do VA loans, so I have a number. I'm registered with the Veterans Administration. I do VA loans. I do FHA HUD loans, so I'm registered with the Department of HUD FHA. I have a number, and those numbers belong to me. They're in my name and my social security number.
All right, we're gonna call Carlos and get you on Love and Marriage
Oh
Huntsville
no,
so you can
thank
get
you.
all that together.
Oh,
Sum it up for us now.
I never can because of my job title, they don't want consumers to know who we are. Because if you come to the company I work for and the loan gets to me, they don't want us to be swayed. They just want us to go follow what's black and white. You know what I mean?
You're gonna be
So,
undercover.
right. So like a loan officer, like I think Ebony's been a loan officer. So like they will be the ones where the public will know them as the loan officers, but the underwriters, our identity is hidden from the public.
Right.
Speaking of
We
VA
say no
loans,
name.
speaking of VA loans, did y'all see that Destiny finally got out of that house and they put the LeBerry's house on the market, or it's under contract, or I can't remember. I don't know if it's under contract, but it's
back on the market.
Good.
I know it was under contract. I don't know. I haven't checked lately to see what's going on with it, but I know at one point it was under contract.
Good.
But I saw their paperwork. Because I know how to go find stuff because of what I do. And I used to tell people, because people was like, she needs to get out. It's his house. No, Destiny was on that loan with him. I saw their deed of trust. I saw their mortgage, their executed mortgage. She was the co-borrower. LeBerick has to be the borrower because he's the veteran. So on VA loans, you can only do a loan with your either two military people who are not married, but if it's a man and a woman, and if the other person is not a veteran, they cannot be on the loan. That's one of the the VA guidelines. So I saw their paperwork. I can tell you their lender was Loan Depot. That's who did their mortgage. It was a VA mortgage. Destiny is on the deed, the note, and the mortgage. So it's her home too. So it doesn't matter what their divorce papers say. She's the owner of the house. A judge cannot come and say, you got to get out. No, it has to play through. They have to sell the house. Now, what her divorce decree would say, the house is going to be sold, and then they would say how they're going to split the proceeds. But the judge cannot come and say, Destiny, you got to get out of that house. No, she is an owner.
No, people weren't saying she has to get out of the house, but people were saying if the judge ordered it, then you need to get out.
No, that's not true. A judge cannot put you out of your own house.
No,
that is not true.
The judge can order her the judge can basically order what he want to order if they agree.
No, that's not true. That's not true. So what happens is that they go to their own attorneys and they decide what they're going to do. It's up to LeBerick and Destiny. So it appears that what they did, they put in their divorce decree that they would sell the house because Destiny probably couldn't afford she couldn't refinance on her own.
I think we're saying the same thing, Cinnamon Boy. What I'm saying is if the judge ordered her to by X amount of days, I'm ordering y'all to sell this house by this date and get out.
No, he wouldn't. See, the judge would never do it. They would come to the judge and tell them what they want to do.
But it has to be in the order though, doesn't it?
Right. The judge just makes it finalized, but they themselves decide how they want to do it.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I was saying. I'm saying you're saying the same thing, but I'm saying if the judge ordered it, they agreed on it, and then now the judge is saying this is the order. I've sealed it with my signature, and you all have agreed on it. The divorce is final. In this divorce decree, it says that you all have to sell the house and split the proceeds by X date. Then that's
no. What they do, that's just an estimate because you don't know when the house will sell. So, for instance, look at their house. Hasn't it been like 2 years? It's been on the market. It has to be sold. So once it's sold, it'll go forward. But that's the case here. The house would not sell. I don't know why, but in my opinion, I always tell people when I know people that are buying homes and they're buying a new construction home, I tell them, be ready, be prepared to have to be in the house for at least 5 to 7 years. Because when you buy new construction and a new project, most of the time that house is not really worth that amount.
But let me ask you this though, Cinnamon Swirl. Listen, I hear exactly what you're saying, but if there's only one person paying the mortgage and Destiny is not paying, And he put that in again in the divorce decree. And that's why people was upset with her, I think, because people knew that they had agreed to a certain date that he would stop paying the mortgage and that they would sell the house, and then she was still in the house. That's why people were upset. And I see exactly what you're saying. Yes, they both own the house, but he was apparently paying the mortgage. That's where the people were
right. And you know why he probably was paying the house in lieu of child support.
But they have split. They both have equal custody, so
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He has what it matters. In my opinion, and what it looks like is that he said, "I will continue to pay I will continue to pay the mortgage in lieu of child support." And I know they have joint custody, and he may spend a certain amount of days with his father and then with his mother. But the bottom line was that Destiny didn't have any income.
And also,
so you have to remember, when it comes to child support, it's all based on. So the state will say, okay, for instance, it takes, so like every state and county is different, but they all say how much it takes monthly to raise a child. And then what they do, they take the income of each parent and they split it out based on who makes the most. So now, it appeared that Destiny's only.
I understand what you're saying, but if that's the case, then Melody would probably be paying Martell a whole lot more, because you remember Martell tried to get child support and they denied it. So it just probably depends on the circumstances.
It depends on the circumstances, right? And Melody also could have stuck it to him, and she could have. See, she did a no fault a divorce. She could have got a divorce based on infidelity. And it looks like she didn't do that. It looks like she just went for a no-fault judgment divorce.
Mm-hmm.
But you see how his plan didn't work, because most of the time, the system is still geared to help women versus men. So Martell had that against him. The system still could, because most women make less money a lot of times in those cases than the men do.
Well, no, I'm saying he was denied child support when he went back to take Melody to court for full custody, not during the divorce.
He was denied full. Right, he was denied full custody. Wasn't that really the issue with them? He was denied full custody,
but he also asked for child support too.
Okay. Well, I don't blame them for denying that, because you have an able-bodied man. See, remember, the system is old. And the system is still geared towards women.
No, the only reason I said that is because you were saying that earlier that the judge looks at who brings in the most money. And I was trying to make the case that it may not be in Alabama, because Melody seem to be making a whole lot more money than Martell, unless he's lying. And here's the other thing that I wanted to say too, is that I don't think that they're paying them a whole lot of money, because if that's the case, Martell would have bought him a house. He stayed in that house over there for all that.
I don't think they make a lot of money.
He had to swindle somebody out of that money to buy some land. He seemed like he's really struggling.
I think he tricked Belinda. I believe that in my opinion, I believe that maybe he said to Belinda, if you buy this land for me, because it was like $29,000. If you get this land for me, we'll barter. I'll get you on the show, because she wants to have her own show, and so that would give her exposure. But that's just my opinion. I don't know for sure what happened, but he got her to buy that land for him.
Unless she come out and tell the truth, people are going to continue to believe that he swindled her out of that land. And since she has not came out to say anything, maybe that's what she wants people to think.
Maybe. I don't know. And then that dollar amount, some states use $1, some states use $10. It's just basically a gift. So she just gave him back the land. That's why they make that amount so small.
Mm-hmm.
For that deed, when they transfer the title for the land.
And she cannot get that land back, don't seem like. Or unless
he would have to sign it back over. He would have to sign it back over to her.
unless
Right.
she has something in writing in an agreement that she went to see an attorney. But I think she would just blindly. And this
Yeah.
lady, this is a lady with 4 or 5 children. There is no way I would have gave this man a penny. That money would have went in my children's college fund or somewhere. But I'm with you. He told her something that he swindled her, in my opinion. And like I said, people have been trying to get her to come out and tell her story, but
Well, I know they're on the outs, and it seems like she done kicked Destiny to the curb because Destiny's a low down dirty snake. And so I think she saw the light. Because someone, maybe it was Queen Sheba's channel, she had showed documentation that another one, a friend of Belinda's, was actually sleeping with Martell also. And Destiny knew about it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. A lot of dirty business. Martell is.
Destiny know a lot about Martell's.
In my opinion, Destiny is a female pimp.
Ooh-wee.
She knows where all the bodies are. And I wouldn't be surprised if her and Martell have something going on also.
Oh yeah, I've always felt like that too.
Yeah, I would not be surprised because that and a lot of people tried to go after Mel because of her. You were not a friend. I'm sorry, but how you really show you are a friend of someone is that when they're in need and you give them money, because people hold on to their money. I want a friend like that.
Me too.
Mel had her back. Not every single friend can afford to give you $6,000, let alone be generous enough to give it, even if they had it. And that was what Melody did for her.
Yeah. And I believe when they were at that reunion, I believe she heard Destiny saying some really bad stuff to Tisha about her. And she said, oh no, we are never going to be friends because you are not my friend. And I kind of believe it might have something to do with that tape, allegedly that Revenge P.
Yes.
And I believe that's why Mel would never say, what it was. And they were always like, say it. Well, if you know, say it. Say it.
Yeah. They all have egg on their face now because now they know that it wasn't true. And now I'm believing what Melody said. When Melody told, when Carlos kept pressuring her about this tape, about fellatio, she was like, well, I don't remember doing it. I told him that he did it to me. But see, Martell lied and told them people that he had some evidence. And they pressured Melody into saying something. And I really believe Melody was telling the truth. I don't care what nobody said.
She was puzzled. She was puzzled. She was like, what is he talking about? That's why she was like, what? What are you talking about? She was so stunned by that because it was such a lie.
And Martell, he got to coleslaw. And I believe Carson blew what she said. I believe when Coleslaw put that information out on that blogger, when the blogger put that information out about what Coleslaw said, I believe she talking about Coleslaw talking about she finessed the blogger. Nope, you're not.
No,
you didn't finesse the blogger. You were telling the truth, and you wanted that girl to put that information out. That's the only reason you were doing that.
Absolutely. See, they didn't count on Carson coming out to say, but it was really Martell on the tape. See, that's when people got upset about that, I was like, I'm not upset with Carson. All things work for the good of God. But how's it go? All things
work together
for the good of them. God. Right. Yeah. And so that was one of the cases where I said, see, God wanted them to see. No, that was Martell in the tape. And what she did was not wrong. That's her spouse. That was her husband. And so it had to come out because other words, it's just going to be her word against his.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so it came out that he wanted to lie and say it was some other man. Because the first thing I would have said was that, well, how did you get this tape? How does some man send you a tape of him and your ex-wife?
But even if they say that, he's still lying in saying that
Yeah.
Coleslaw never told Carson that, and that Carson and Melody just got together and made something up. He really wants people to believe that. He is so low down.
Very low down. Well,
Yeah.
that's why he's having all the bad luck he's having right now.
I feel like Martell is disgusting for even using a private moment that he shared with his wife against her. But the rest of them, if they watch the tape, they sick for looking at it.
Yeah.
Because why would you want to violate her by seeing her in that position and with no clothes on? They sick for even participating in it.
Right.
But
and
you
not
know what?
only that, but you have 4 kids by this woman. If you care about your kids, you would never do that. Never. That's their
Exactly.
mother.
And see, for Martell to just say he sent it to them without showing it to them. You know what I'm saying? Just all of a sudden you pick up your phone and you got this picture in there. He went around trying to make this woman look bad. He was out on a mission to ruin her reputation. Remember when he was telling everybody she had a dark heart and that she cheated on him first? This was his way to go through with his mission of destroying this woman. That's just how low he stooped.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do it himself. So he got his bird brain to do it. And she running around talking about he's mad at me because I won't do it. And then she running around trying to get somebody to do it. You ain't telling me. I believe that Coleslaw tried to get Carson Blue to release that tape. That is why she told that woman that. There is no other reason why she told her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And she wasn't expecting Carson to have the reaction that she did. You know, Carson has a heart, obviously. So I was glad when she came out too, because she corroborated what Melody said. And then Melody went live on IG and said she was happy Carson spoke out about what that girl shared with her. That's terrible.
It is.
See, Martell was very upset and still very upset because his name in the business community became mud. Remember how Chris Fletcher said that the people that purchased the 47 acres, they did not want him on the project because of his reputation of what he did in his marriage. So his name became mud. His name became mud. And that's why he became very angry at her, because Huntsville is very small. I've been there one time. It's very small. And so can you imagine everybody in Huntsville that cares about it, and the business community, they all know about it. And its name is mud.
Yeah, everything failed for him and Coleslaw. See, they thought that they were going to get the upper hand on Melody.
Yeah.
But when it didn't work, then they became angry. And with every single win that she made, when she started doing her property preservation, then she released her songs, then she released her 7th Avenue, then she started doing her products and everything, acting, the production company, the doctor's degree. Every win that she comes out with, that's why they got so mad at her.
Yeah. Jay Bolin, walking in Paris, walking in New York. Yeah.
They couldn't
get away from her image.
Yeah. They expected for them to win because they plotted for so many years, and they wanted her to just go down and stay down, but she didn't. She got up. She dusted herself off and she moved on, and she did not look back. And what they tried to do, they continued to try to come for this woman. And then when him and Coleslaw couldn't do it, then here come Miss Wanda lying on her, trying to make it look like Sugar Mama wasn't Martell's.
Yeah, that was disgusting. That was disgusting.
Right, and Letitia wouldn't talk about, well, when Melody was running around on Martell, lying.
Right. Well, you know why she said it, because she saw that tape.
Yes, she couldn't say
so she was convinced. Yeah.
But didn't Melody say at the reunion, never? She said not never work with them. Never. And they didn't get it through their heads because they thought that when this season came up, okay, Melody is going to, be in different episodes or different scenes with us.
She's going to be at the Black Expo. We're going to draw people in because she's at the Black Expo. And she said no.
Yeah.
She's like, no. I'll come. I'll
you
sit in
got
the
some
audience,
paper,
but you're not gonna
Tammy?
have my name in up there as the
Right.
headliner. No. Mm-mm,
Mm-hmm. I don't
mm-mm.
blame her. No, if you're
Me
not gonna
either.
pay me, I'm not saying nothing. And
Mm-hmm.
then I don't. You know what? I don't. And then the price of it had to be right too. You
Absolutely.
know.
I would not do it for free. And even then, I need my money up front. But I'm glad she had no parts of it because of this
Yes.
lawsuit. That lawsuit,
Yes.
for Tiffany to say, I don't know if we should be around Kiki, what about my business and our image and everything? The Scotts their image is way worse than Kiki's. They're going to trial for fraud, business fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're very simple-minded with the lazy read, always talking about Kiki and the pills. They really think that they're hurting her, but they just make themselves look so ignorant.
Yeah, they really do. Like you said, it's a very low read. Very, very low.
Mm-hmm.
Very low.
But what,
And
They
Tisha is
making
just
her
like her
they
mother.
storyline.
Yeah, Tisha is just like her mother. I really don't
She
believe this girl has a master's degree. I just don't. I can't see it. I just cannot. I cannot
Mm,
see it. I just cannot. And it's not about her speech. It's just her business acumen. She has none.
Agreed.
hmm And
Something's
then
not adding up.
she showed her degree though when she graduated with her master's degree from
I got to see the
Auburn
portion.
University, and they
I,
had that
I
little.
need to see it. I need to see an
I need to
official
hold it.
seal.
I
I
need to
need to
hold
see
it.
Auburn's University official seal. I don't
hmm
trust them. I do
I
not
need to see
trust
the
it.
date.
I need to see the official seal, and
That
then
too.
I need her to sign something so I can call up to the school to verify. I need to see a
That too.
transcript with an official seal on it to show
hmm
that she earned that master's. I do not believe it. I just don't. I don't believe it.
All the
I could
degrees.
be wrong, but I just don't believe. I don't see it.
Because she don't talk like she
She
has
don't
them.
speak it. She don't walk it. None of it.
No, no.
But I
That's
will say, I'm sorry. Go
Go
on, Jen.
ahead.
I will
Ah.
say, you remember Coleslaw said she had an undergraduate degree in biology, and when Mayo taught her using the word instead of here, like I am here,
Right,
like you hear HEAR.
right.
Well,
They said,
somebody said that she does not have a degree from
She
A&M,
don't.
but she went to beauty school. That's that graduation was. That's what they're
I don't even
saying.
think she went there because she still got the same bun. I mean, that bun should have been a whole different French style. I know my name
Well,
is French
sometimes
Queen.
hairdressers, their hair doesn't really look that good because they're so busy, working on other people's. But they're saying that she went to beauty school, and that cap and gown ceremony was when she graduated from beauty
Oh,
school.
so she was
oh,
lying
help us,
about. Y'all think
Father.
she was lying about being in nursing school because you have to have an
She
Yeah,
undergraduate.
to get it
was.
right. I do. I
She
really
was
do.
telling the story about that.
Arion told Tasha K she did not finish college. She said she started nursing school, but she didn't finish because there's no way she could be my nurse. Oh Lord, call me home, please.
All I was saying is that in order to get in nursing school, you already have to have a BS degree.
Oh, okay. So Arion,
And you know what? And so, but was she in to be an
Or
LPN
undergraduate.
or RN? See, it depends on it depends on what type of nursing degree too. Was she an RN?
That's
You
what I was
do,
gonna
but not
say.
for LPN. You
So,
don't.
LPN
so you
is
can
about
go
to
to
be deleted.
straight out. So you're saying that you can get straight out of high school and go into nursing school?
To
You
get
can't. Well, you
an
got to go to college.
LPN license, you can. Yes, to get an LPN, not an
You got to
RN, but an LPN.
LPN first.
So when
Then
people
RN.
graduate from undergrad with a bachelor's in nursing, that is to be the licensed practicing nurse, the LPN.
No,
Right.
that's an
No.
RN. That's an RN.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Say that one more time. Show style.
Oh, I was asking the question like when people graduate, like I went to school with people who were nursing majors. So when they got their bachelor's degree in nursing, I thought they were the LPN, but Cinnamon says they are the registered nurse, the RN.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Yeah,
you
you can leave high school and go to like you know how they, I don't know about where you are, but in Virginia, like they have ECPI, I think it is, and you can get an LPN degree from there, but you're just
Is
an
that for
LPN, and the pay rate is a lot different.
Oh, okay. So
now?
you said you could go to a technical school to get
Yeah,
your or to get that degree, but
the
okay, because I
LPN,
thought at
right?
the university you had to have like like you. I could be. I never. I mean, I don't know, but
So,
y'all probably
so
right more than because I just always thought all the nurses that I knew they finished an undergraduate program and then they went into the nursing. You had to be accepted into a nursing program. So you said
Right.
you can even be accepted into a nursing program out of high school.
Yes, and that's the LPN, not the RN.
Okay,
There's a
gotcha,
difference between the two. Right.
gotcha.
So maybe she was going to be a
okay,
LPN.
yeah.
Nothing about her. It just, I don't know. I mean, as much as it takes to complete college, to me, she's not college educated. I just don't see it when it comes to her.
But
Yeah.
y'all
And
heard
I'm
her.
not. I'm talking
No,
about
you're right.
Arion.
Yeah, yeah,
You're right.
Arian. I think she even she lie a lot, but she did say that the reason she picked nursing is because she saw that they made a lot of money, but she really didn't. When she got into it, she really
No,
didn't
I,
like it.
Hmm.
I'm
She
not gonna
also
say
said
that.
she got a biology degree. Do you know how hard a biology degree is? Does
You better
anything
be
about her
because
speak science?
Yeah, she would be going to medical school afterwards if she had a
Right.
biology degree. She
Yeah,
needs
that's what she said. She had a biology degree.
yeah,
well, we
right. I
know
don't
she couldn't
believe
go
that.
there.
No.
We knew she
And
couldn't
you
go
know what?
there.
My thing is that we can look it up to see if they even offer those courses at Alabama A&M.
This is what I think is Ariane. I think she was going to be a CNA and she just lies and says
Yeah,
she's going for
that
nursing.
too. Right. Exactly.
And call
Now,
that nursing school. Yeah.
is that
Which is nothing, nowhere close to RN.
Because you
is
can
that
get your CNA. Can't you be a CNA in like 90 days? I
Yeah,
see
something
commercials.
like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Certified nursing assistant. Yeah, it's a
Hmm. Yeah.
I see commercials where you can go. It seems like it's about as long as a semester. It's like 3 months and you can be a CNA. So
So that's fast track. Okay.
Did y'all
So
heard
that
her talking about, well, you got to do labs. I had to do labs. I couldn't do this comprehensive. I had to
Yeah,
do
I
this. And I
remember her saying
heard
that.
her
I
say all
do.
that foolishness.
she need
That
to
don't mean it's
stop
true.
talking about she doing labs. She ought to be shamed.
she
She said
can't even
that.
put
She said
thin
that's why
and
she dropped out because it was so hard for her.
And I remember her saying that part to Tasha K, that she had to drop out because it was too much. She needs to stop it.
Okay, now I'm looking at undergraduate studies at Alabama A&M. I don't see biology as a major.
So see, she need to stop telling those stories.
They
all
have
she
life
know
and
is
natural sciences, business and public affairs, education, humanities and behavioral sciences, engineering, technology, and physical science.
And this is true too. Y'all remember like around this time last year, Arion would go live all the time and that little boy would be hacking and coughing and everything else. And Melanated Energy says if she was a nurse, her son would not have been sick all that time. It was for like several days or a couple of
Oh,
weeks.
okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so I'm sorry. They do have a minor. They have a minor in biology, but you wouldn't have
she's
that's a
still telling
minor, not a
story.
major.
With all her stuff is lies,
It's
lies,
a
lies,
minor.
and I
It's
normally
not a
don't like to
major.
say
It's a
that.
minor. So, hmm.
But if she wanted to be a nurse or certified or anything, like Show Styles was just stating that her child was going for days being sick and you wasn't tending to him.
Yeah,
What's the problem?
it's not
All,
adding up.
all
It
she
doesn't
knows is
add up.
Martell. She's a habitual liar and she needs to go on by her business and God bless her on her journey. Because
Now, I do believe that she went to. I believe that she attended classes there.
School of Martell. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe that she went to A&M for a little while. I do.
Now,
I just don't believe
But
nothing she
I'm just
says.
thinking about how we do things. So, according to her, according to the picture that she took, so she already had Paris. The type of person, the type of woman that would graduate, that would be in college and had a child. There, you know what I mean? They have that oomph to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they wouldn't be just sitting at home, not
Right.
working. It
Right.
just doesn't add up to me. Because
Yeah.
you're just thinking that the type of woman that is strong enough to get pregnant when they're in college, continue on, graduate. It's like you have a future.
Well,
Your mindset is very strong.
but did y'all see when the original Straight No Chaser put the video out? That she showed a clip where Curry was working at the hospital, and she had a whole thing of about 4 or 5 bouquets of flowers on the desk, not the desk, but where on
a
the
cart
at the nurse's station.
She worked in the gift shop, I believe.
Where she was showing that Martell had sent her the flowers. All I'm saying is that girl was working at a hospital because she showed.
I believe she probably worked in the gift shop or something. She was a CNA, right? Yeah, I don't believe she. No, nothing. As much money as nurses make and are in demand, and she's sitting at home on Section 6.
Exactly. And they're paying.
It doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up to me.
So I really don't. It doesn't make any difference. But why is it that people don't believe that Martell sent her those flowers? I believe Martell absolutely sent her.
No, he can send her flowers. I'm not referring to that. I'm just saying when I think about how, because as Black women, we're very strong. And for you to already have a child and you finish college, that's how I'm thinking about it. It's not adding up to me. Now, everybody is different, and maybe she just changed her whole mindset. But it doesn't sound. This girl didn't even know what a 2-parent household was.
Exactly.
Tasha K asked her about a 2-parent. Yeah, I grew up. Oh no, well my father lived down the street. What?
Yeah, she confused Tasha K. Tasha said, well, wait, no, a 2-family house is when they both live in there together.
Right.
Right.
Arion was like, well, no, I didn't grow up like that. What?
I don't think her.
She's not very bright. She's like Tisha. She's not very bright.
Yeah, elevator don't go to the top. It don't.
I think ADR just made a good point. Hey, it don't matter whether she got a degree or not. She ain't using it.
She ain't using
She
it,
didn't utilize it at all.
Lazy butt.
Arion, she just satisfied Martell's sexual appetite. That was totally it. That was all.
There is no way. There is no way. This woman went on a tour saying, I took your man with my eyes closed. And his wife gave you to him. She said, you can have the bum. I'm kicking him to the curb. And he's still not the best you can do is show a hand and hear his voice. He'll go out in public and take pictures with Sheree and Belinda, everybody else, but not you. But you took him with she's not very bright.
But what about the Derby, though? What happened to her being at the Derby?
Exactly. She's not very bright.
Do y'all think he had invited her? Y'all think he had actually invited Coleslaw to the Apollo Classic?
No.
So,
no, I think she was. I think she was just there remember she did that scene with her and Knox. Somebody said that was her sister's truck because they know her sister's truck. And during that time, because we kept saying, "Is Martell not at the reunion?" Because remember, he was in L.A. for the reunion then, but we didn't know it at that time. See, she knows how to play with everybody.
She just stupid and ignorant. That's all.
She was trying to play with everybody's head. I'm gonna make them think I'm in the ATL with Martell and I'm going to the Polo Classic. Blah blah blah. No, you didn't go nowhere. You and your son was there, and that was it. He was in Los Angeles.
I do believe her when she say that her and Martell be going out. Because remember, Melody said,
I believe they do. But he just won't. He won't let her post. He won't let her post pictures of him.
Right, but so I'm just saying, in her mind, all is well. Because remember, she even told I think it was Tasha K. She told somebody, look, what we're doing, what we see on TV and what we're doing in real life, it's not matching up. So she can't distinguish the difference between the two. So she basically saying our lives we're together and everything is working out for us when we're together, but then when y'all see it on social media, it doesn't look the same. So she was saying it was confusing to her. So I honestly believe that happened for a while, but then when Martell started dating Sheree, then that girl went off the deep end. When she found out, when Martell started treating her the way he was treating Melody, she couldn't take it.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's when she started talking about, oh, this is the lady, this is the girl who wanted to, do the S word. And well, you know what? Hey, now you're getting what you deserve. You're getting
exactly.
So
the bottom line is that his wife divorced him. You said you took him with your eyes closed. He is now a divorced man, and you had a child by him. How come he has not married you? I don't care how often they go out together, how much time they spend together. You tell me why he has not married you. If you are it,
and she's
if you
getting
are all that, why? Tell me why he hasn't married you.
As you know what she said, when me and Martell, we are damaged. You remember she came out with that bogus lie. And so here's the thing. Now again, she's getting everything that she's put out there while she was at home, while Melody was at home with the kids, and you out having fun with her husband. Now you look on social media, you see Martell in Atlanta on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. You see him in New York. Now you mad. Now you going off the deep end. You think somebody finna feel sorry for you? Nope.
Exactly.
Hey, smell the smoke and put your big pants on, because guess what? You getting everything you deserve. And now you got to sit at home with that baby boy.
Exactly.
But Melody went on with her life.
Also,
and I heard her say she liked him better when he was married. And you know why? Because he had money.
Oh yeah. She's his karma. Martell,
absolutely.
Or Marslow, or Marsho, and whatever else.
They say she wrecked
karma, and he's looking bad. He's looking real bad. In the episode last night, he's looking bad.
Well, now she's saying that she was told all they did was talk about her at the reunion. I was like, girl, they haven't even mentioned you on the show. Go sit down somewhere and stop thinking somebody want to speak about your slow behind.
Yeah.
You know, I wish she'd just grow up. I really do.
She's delusional. That child is so delusional. They can't. They're so-called star. They're so. I'm the one. Okay, well, you know what? If you a star, go ahead. We need to see you do it. Go ahead, girl. Martell, make her a star. She's waiting. She's waiting.
And she's highly upset.
Over the show. We done took over the show. I'm sorry, show star.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, she's highly upset that she's not on that show. That girl is disturbed. She's not on that show.
She'll be all right come Christmas in 2 years. She'll be all right.
Yeah.
She said for years, all they did was talk about me. No, we did not.
And no, exactly. You were the chick, the same chick. That's all how I knew her. And I believe she told her friends to message Funky Dineva and to give him her name. I think she was in on it, and she wanted to be exposed. She wanted to be a public figure. I always felt like that.
Yep, I agree.
It was stated that
I agree.
Got her on that show. Got her with Tasha K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what they said. It was
Martell set that up. Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
But also too, now let's not forget tomorrow. It's I believe it's tomorrow. Melody is taking Martell back to court.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Heard. So is this so she can post the kids again on social media?
We praying that's what it's about, because it is the judge for the kids.
Okay.
Yeah, so I haven't heard.
We don't know. But also too, it has, this is all alleged. also, it was also stated that something also with the divorce too, something that wasn't stated or wasn't done that was supposed to be with the divorce, that should have happened with the divorce. Like I said, alleged. You know, I'm thinking it's just about the children, but it could be. You know, it shouldn't be anything with the divorce because this is not divorce court. But if they can wiggle that into the children's court information,
Oh
okay,
no, that's
fine.
two
But
separate courts.
yeah,
When it
that's what
comes
I
to
was thinking.
when it comes to juveniles, that's two different courts. It'll never be in the same courtroom.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm praying that she's able to, be able to implement, into the court system. Hey, listen, it's time for my kids to be shown, on TV. It's time for them to be, show their businesses. It's time for them to, if they have their own little Instagram or something like that, he's trying to stop their money, and that's not right. But you didn't stop Knox when you posted him on the little boat, or call yourself fishing with him, or whatever you was trying to do. That's you, Martell. You don't know what's coming. You think this is just the beginning. God is not done with him yet.
Oh no.
That's right. You don't get to stalk and harass a woman and make her feel violated and uncomfortable, and Carlos do what he do at the reunions with her and all this foolishness. That stuff isn't right. That would be very hurtful and sad if the people don't get dealt with for acting that way. So
he's definitely getting a lot of his mess back, because remember when Melody went back to the house to try to get her furs and stuff, Vanessa said he wouldn't let her have anything out of that house. Now look at him over here. You on national TV, you got a realtor telling you that you need to get out of somebody else's house.
yes.
Look, that just lets you know right then and there that he's getting some of his mess back. And it's gonna only get worse if he don't stop acting. Him and Coleslaw combining their forces to try to reap havoc. And not only in Melody's life, in those kids' life, because he had no right to take those kids off of social media and then go and put his son in a Superman, what is not Superman, Spider-Man outfit.
He was just trying to hurt Mel. That's all.
Yeah,
because he couldn't profit from their image. So he was trying to stop Mel from making a profit from off the kids' image.
All I'm saying is
not going to work.
He's hurting his children.
He is.
He
doesn't care about those kids at all.
But
he doesn't care about those kids. It's so sad. He is such a sorry. Oh my God, wow. I can't even call him a man. He's a male. He's not a man.
What were you saying, Hannah?
Yeah, I was just saying, and also with the way Martell did that with taking the kids off of social media, and then he lied for the reason that he did, and then 2 or 3 months, not even a year later, his mom have to sell her house. And the reason I'm bringing up the houses is because you made this woman move out of her house with her children because you didn't want to move. You wouldn't let her take any of the furniture. Now look at your situation right now. That lets you know that's a sounding really loud noise or whatever, a warning that people shouldn't do dirt. Anybody watching Martell need to see you could have easily split the furniture. And then you had Coleslaw over there bragging, talking about the kids was sleeping on air mattresses.
Yeah. Exactly. And Melody was so upset. I'll never forget that Instagram live because she was dressed in her sweats because she was planning on moving and getting her new house set up. And this Negro wouldn't let her get to her furs, her bags, or the kids' beds. I guess he figured since you're going to leave me, I'm going to make it hard. And Melody was like, and I was supposed to get this house ready for me and my kids. Like, she was so upset. And you just mad because she left you. You should be mad at yourself. You messed up your household. So I don't feel sorry for him at all. I don't feel sorry for him and Maurice and more so. And I even clicked to this slide because I wanted to ask y'all, when Maurice says ignorant things like Kimmy wanted a car where her hair can blow in the wind, but she doesn't have any hair. Does he do this just to trigger us and so the blogs talk about him? Or is he really like this? Because if I was Kimmy, I would have filed for divorce straight up.
Me too. He is
He's
a
really like
sad
that.
case of a man.
Mhm.
This guy.
That he is that's a sorry ass man. When I saw that, I said, "Oh my God, Kimmy, there's nothing you can do to make me feel good after seeing that on TV." I'd have been like, "If you don't get out my face, Mister, if you
Yeah.
don't get
Stay
away
with him.
from me,
She's still
low
gonna stay with him.
down."
But my only problem with Kimmy is she trying to make it look like it's something that it's not. And what I mean by that is, you know how your husband is. And then you
Yeah.
always trying to protect him, always trying to take up for him, just like she did at that last reunion when Carlos asked Melody about her saying that Maurice was the least relevant on the show. And then that's what Kimmy said. Well, Kimmy said, well, Kimmy was the one that brought up that Melody said that Maurice was the least relevant on the show. So she was justifying Melody being upset with Maurice for saying that Kimmy and Melody weren't friends. But she left out what her husband said about Melody. You just
Exactly.
went straight to what Melody said about Maurice. And
Exactly.
Maurice had said something real slick about Melody. I can't recall exactly what it was, but Melody didn't just come out and say he's the least relevant. Maurice was the one that really said something disturbing about Melody.
Right. She was just responding. But
Yeah,
what she said the truth? Isn't he still today the least relevant?
it's true. But
It's
Kimmy,
true. He's the least relevant on the show. Exactly.
right. But what I'm saying is Kimmy always trying to defend him. And then he sits and saying that her hair is not blowing. She doesn't have any hair, but neither does he. So nobody's hair gonna be blowing. So why even say it out there?
But you know what? You saw how it's been debunked. I believe that Kimmy is a side chick, and that explains to me her behavior when they were at their worst times, going through Melanie and Martell. How Kimmy kept saying, "But he's a good guy." But how can you say a man is a good guy when he goes out and he has a child? He gets another woman pregnant while he's married. So how do you call that a good guy? I believe that Kimmy was fooling around with Maurice before his divorce was final, and she definitely was a side chick. Marceau said it. She was a side chick, and so that's why she didn't have any smoke for Martell. That's why he's always been the good guy. He only was not the good guy when he brought mess to her house. Remember, because how when Maurice said he wasn't on the trip, and then after the reunion, Marceau posted the picture of him at the trip. And remember, I think Martell went and he laughed, made a comment, and he laughed under it. And Kimmy was so mad at him for that. Martell's bringing mess to me now, but he's a good guy.
Martell said it on the show that he was that
Was
she was
there
a side chick.
a side chick, exactly. So I believe that's why she didn't have no smoke. It was always, but Martell, he has a good heart. He's a good guy. Huh?
I think she wanted.
Yeah,
Feel
it was more.
she
It was more
wants.
than that. She was a side chick herself, and
I
then
feel.
she was a side chick, and then she let Maurice string her on for 7 years before he married her.
What were you gonna say,
7
Jack,
years.
about Maurice and Kimmy?
No, I was just gonna say that even though Martell said that she was a side chick, the thing is, I believe, allegedly, in my opinion, that Kimmy wanted the type of image that Martell has or had right now. Let me put past this now. Someone that with buff arms and look muscular and got the swag and wearing the suits and all that. Maurice don't know. He don't have that. He is Martin
No.
Luther King Jr., the 6 or 7. We'll put him there. That's where he at. But because she always says that about Martell, and then she always rubbing on him or touching on him. Come on now. What this is somebody, this is your friend's husband. Why are you doing all this touchy feeling stuff? She doesn't do that to your husband.
I think Kimmy does it a lot. I saw pictures from when they were down at Black recently for homecoming, and it was a picture of Kimmy, Maurice, and what's his name, Rashid, the car guy. And I said to myself, why is she all over him? She had her behind up against him.
She a 3
She was closer to him than she was her own husband. I'm like, what is up with that?
To me,
no.
I don't think that she's into Maurice like that. This just to tell you the truth. It was good while it lasted, the little fun. But
well, he definitely not into her.
Exactly. Oh, let's not forget about him posting all those blue neon lights inside. What is this? Credit One establishment inside that
They
office.
don't even own that building.
But why would he put that all in there though?
Well, he rents that one unit. See, when I saw that, because I started looking up stuff, and they do not own that building. The owner of that building is not the Scotts. Now, what I did see, he does rent a unit. Kimmy represents the owner of that building. She's the agent for that. So you know how sometimes when people own properties and buildings and they don't live there, they may hire like a property management. That's what Kimmy is for that building. They do not own that building.
But okay, so for the unit that they are renting, why are we putting neon blue lights like it's a disco or it's an after 7 or after 5 show?
Yeah, I don't think it was the unit. I don't think it was the unit that Credit One is in. I think it's like 4 or 5 units there, and that might be what some of people who are going to rent it. Maybe that's what they wanted.
Or Jackie, you're saying he might be making it like a spot to kind of seduce somebody or have a rendezvous.
It's the boom boom room.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, it was displayed on the episode.
I understand what you're saying, but
was it on episode?
See, remember, everything is a facade with them. Everything is a facade. They do not own that building, and so he may have had access to a unit that maybe they were going to rent out to somebody else, and that's what the person who was going to rent that unit, maybe that's what they wanted. But Maurice does not own that building. I guarantee you, he does not own that building. And next time we talk, I'll tell you the person's name. I looked it up. They do not own that building. And Kimmy is like the property manager for that building. Wow. So what they do, they have this facade. They try to make it seem like just like when Marcel was singing how I owned a 60-unit building. Well, that building was condemned and you got it at a tax sale. So you didn't pay top dollar for a building. You went to the county and purchased a vacant building that was condemned. So you got it for pennies on the dollar.
Well, what I want to do is, y'all, I'm going to talk a few minutes about like my hair care regimen. Because I know Phyllis has been in here. Thank you. Phyllis said it earlier, right in the beginning, like, can you talk about some stuff you use in your hair? So I want y'all to do closing remarks about the show. And if you want, you can still stay up here while I talk about hair, but we can do closing remarks on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And then I'm going to talk about the hair care products that I use.
I need to drop down because I was cooking dinner and I turned everything off. But I'm going to be listening because, I have sister locks and it'll be 2 years for me. So I am going to listen.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, good night, everybody. Thank you for having me up.
Good night.
Yes, please come back, Cinnamon Swirl.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Good night.
I'm just going to say this and I'm going to drop down to myself. I just wish that Carlos would just, do Love and Marriage Huntsville like he did with Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I feel that us viewers, we spending our time to even turn on the TV and just see, exactly what's going on. And that's how they're getting in ratings. I wish they would come with the reality from the beginning and stop with all this, this other stuff that this doesn't even mean anything. If you're not going to show exactly what's going on with your livelihood, then don't show it at all, and don't be on here, and just get on with your livelihood. That's all I got to say.
I love that. And Hannah, she did message me. She had to step away. I don't know, Hannah, if you're back at your device now, but if she's not, I'll just go ahead and talk about my hair care products. So Phyllis, thank you for putting that out there in the chat. So I'm going to show y'all some things that I use and what I do. First, I want to say, y'all know I've said in other videos, I'm 2 years locked. And when I got my dreadlocks, I did comb coils. So when you get dreadlocks, you can do like, when you get your starter locks, as they call it, they'll either do comb coils. So they'll put like, they'll just part your hair and do like little ringlets. That's how your locks will start off. And then it takes several months for your hair to truly lock. And like I go get a retwist like every 6 weeks. My next retwist won't be until December. It's going to be like at 8 weeks because my loctician was already booked the weekend where I was at the 6th week. So every day I hydrate my hair. And so this is very different than what Black women are taught. Because, you know, when we get our hair pressed or permed, you spend all that money getting your hair done. The last thing you want is to put water on it, because then the press goes back. And I used to, I'm going to try to show y'all some pictures right now. My hair, if I like stepped in the shower, or if I would like go and go to the gym and start sweating, my press would go back. Now, this is me with a curly weave. I would get sew-ins and I would leave my hair out at the top. And then I like the curly weave because I didn't have to do nothing to it. And then let me see. So this would be like me when I would get my loose hair pressed out and I would get the curls. And then, so this is me with like my straight hair, but if you look in the front at the root, it was starting to nap up, like probably when I took a shower and like my roots were starting, they got a little wet, so then they would nap up. I would go through that, and then I would get braids, because I got sick of always doing the getting it pressed out, and to me it was just like a waste of money because my hair would start to go back. And then I wore faux locks. And I was just like, you know what? I'm about to lock my hair. So these are the comb coils. This was on my very first day that I got locked. It was October 17th, 2021. It was on a Sunday. She could only do my hair on a Sunday because she canceled on me the day before. So I got starter locks, and I asked her for neat parts, and I said I wanted small. And these are not micro locks. They're traditional dreadlocks, but they are small. And she gave me comb coils. And then this was sometime in the first few months. And then like now my hair is fully locked. So now I'm going to show y'all. So every day when you have locks, you hydrate your hair. Now this is called Flower Child Lock Care. I actually add to this. So I have like other bottles upstairs, and like once a week I do a mixture. So I pour this in, and this has rose water, distilled water, and it has a little aloe vera juice. So the lady who owns Flower Child Lock Care, she puts a little aloe vera juice in it and vegetable glycerin. So I take this and I pour it in with a little water, and I take avocado oil or grapeseed oil. I went through all my grapeseed oil, so now I'm finishing up my avocado oil. I just put a little bit in there, and every morning I shake it up, and then I hydrate my hair. So this is, it's mainly water and rose water. So you just hydrate, and you do this every single day. And this helps to seal in moisture for when you oil your scalp. So when I oil my scalp, I just do this like 2 to 3 weeks. So this is also Flower Child Lock Care. So this is a mixture of avocado oil, grapeseed oil, sunflower oil, and jojoba oil. And what I like about the products that I use for my locks, you can either use it on your skin and your hair as well. But I do this like 2 to 3 times a week. Like when the weather gets cold, it's going to be 3 times a week because, you know, the cold is harsh on everything. And then you just kind of put it on your scalp, rub it in a little bit, a couple times a week. And you do this after you hydrate, and you're hydrating every single day. And then that's all I do, y'all. Like when I take off, I put a scarf on my head, and then I put the bonnet over my scarf. And when I take it down, I just kind of rub my fingers through my locks so they don't marry, meaning they don't stick together. You know what I'm saying? I just rub my fingers through it. I hydrate every day, and then that'd be it. I'd be done. And then a couple times a week, I oil my scalp, and then I go get my locks retwisted every month and a half. I do wash my locks in between. So when y'all see me come on camera and my roots be thick, it be because I done washed my hair in between retwists. And then that's all I do. I don't even miss being like a loose head and going to get it pressed and hoping I don't get it wet in the shower and all that stuff. I don't miss none of that. And it's just so easy having locks. Let me go to y'all. Oh, this was the other oil I wanted to show y'all. This is Jamaican black castor oil. So everybody don't really fool with this because it's a thicker oil, but I love it. And I use this on my scalp too, you know, a couple times a week when I oil my scalp, if I don't use flower child lock hair. I'm going to show y'all on my hand how thicker it is because it is a thicker oil. But with the Jamaican black castor oil, I feel like it's what has helped my hair to like grow. So I'm going to show y'all, I'm going to put my hand up close so y'all can see the texture. Wait 1 second. And these are like the travel sizes that if you were like taking a trip, you could get through TSA. So do y'all see, I don't know if I can show y'all. It's a thicker oil. I don't want to pour out too much. Oops, that's what I did. But it's thicker, but it's not sticky. It ain't like honey, but it is a thicker oil than like your avocado oils and your grapeseed oil. But I feel like it's helped like my hair to grow and stuff. And you know, you just be patient if you were to lock your hair because it's all about no maintenance. Phyllis says, I have locks for 20 years. Love new tips for hydration and growth. Okay. I love it. A loose head. Yeah, that's how we like differentiate being a lock head versus a loose head. You know, I'm a lock head and I used to be a loose head. You know what? That's funny. One time, this was when Carson, you know, first came on the scene, and I was watching one of her IG lives, and she was talking about hair. And I was like, yeah, I'm a lock head, so I do this and I do that. And she was like, oh, are you saying like you have locks? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a lock head and you're a loose head. And she was like, yeah, I am a loose head. It was funny. But she had to like decipher what I was saying to her. She was like, yeah, I am a loose head. I was like, yep. Does it have to do the same thing to my hair since I went natural? I'm going to locks when I retire in 2 years. I use the Jamaican black castor oil and my hair is growing like crazy. Yeah, I feel like the Jamaican black castor oil do that. And other people have said that on Instagram. Are these products good? Yes, yes. Okay, that's a great question. They are for loose head naturals, absolutely. So your froze, your natural curls, you know, if you don't have a perm, definitely these products are using it. Now, with hydrating, of course, I know if you straighten your hair, like with the pressing comb or the flat iron, you're probably not going to be into hydrating. But if you're wearing like a natural curl or something, yes, you could definitely hydrate. And if you're not into buying products, you can do it yourself. Like take your water and mix it with like a little bit of oil once a week. You could get your oil from Amazon or whatever. And I like vegetable glycerin. I just put like a little smidge in it once a week. Be good to go. And then you can hydrate every day. But yeah, I feel like everybody not into the Jamaican black castor oil, but I feel like it will grow your hair. All right, so let me finish up with the comments. I use satin or silk to sleep in. Yep. If you have like a silk bonnet to put over the scarf, and then, or if you have silk pillowcases, but I just like to cover my head up just to kind of help from the locks not, matting together. I use this faithfully. All right. I use castor oil. Okay. All right. So I'm meeting more people who are into the castor oil. That's so good. Because everybody not really into it. But that was funny. Carson was like, do you have, she was trying to figure out what I was saying. I was like I was talking Chinese. She was like, I am a loose head. I said, yep. Yeah. And then that's all, like, because having locks is so low maintenance. It is ridiculous. And that's what I was ready for. And that's all the products. Now okay, this is gold. The Jamaican Black Castor Oil is by Goldilocks NC. She also makes a shampoo. And NC, because she's based out of North Carolina, her name is Devante, a Black woman. And Flower Child Lock Care is owned by Rocky. She's a nurse. And they put quality, healthy products, and they all say it's for both lockheads and loose naturals. Absolutely. And that's my routine. And see that Jamaican Black Castor Oil, I just rubbed it on my hands while I was sitting here talking. They have 20% off. Oh, yeah. Flower. And you know what? If I were you, I would sign up for her text messages, because she's always dropping sales. And I believe it's like the first Friday of the month is free shipping Friday. And then, I also get her body butters. Oh, I had it right here. I always get body butter. So this is the warm vanilla sugar. Rocky makes it herself. Oh, it smells good. And at Christmas time, she does a peppermint body butter. So like I keep this one down here, and then I got one at my desk upstairs for when I work. And that's good. Like the body butters, when the weather gets cold, or even when you get your pedicures, to kind of keep them until your next pedicure, use body butters. And Flower Child Lock Cares offer those. And both Flower Child Lock Care and Goldilocks NC, they both sell bonnets. And I think Flower Child Lock Care, now she sells her lock gel for when you get your retwist. And what else do they say? Oh, so like if you're like me and you create your own hydration, you can use this bottle, but Flower Child Lock Care also has her hydration bottles. They're like much taller, but this is what you can travel with. And she also sells the much taller bottles. I learned that the sequence and how you apply the water, then oil, matters, because the oil seals the water in for moisture. Yes, like they all say, the lock influencers that I all follow on Instagram, they all say you hydrate first, then you take the oil and apply it to your scalp. The hydration helps seal in the moisture. Or is it the oil helps seals in the moisture? I have been using Heritage, but we'll move to the Black-owned products. Thank you, Ebony. You're welcome, dear. Sounds amazing. Peppermint body butter. Yes, I got it last fall. It's I know y'all typed it out. Sunshine did. Flower Child Lock Care and Goldilocks. I think I'm spelling it right. Goldi. Yep. Goldilocks NC for the Jamaican Black Castor Oil. And you can follow those those names also on Instagram. And then the owner of Goldilocks NC, she also has her individual Instagram, Devante Reese. And her locks, they were to her butt. You can still find pictures. The girl that was using the Jamaican Black Castor Oil, locks to her butt. And a couple months ago, she did a chop. Now her locks are like my length, but she cut like several feet of hair. They were to her butt. And now she's done a huge chop, and she's been locked for like 10, 11 years. I think Rocky has been locked for like 7 or 8 years, a long time. And they'll go live every now and then. Devontae will go live while she's retwisting her hair. She self-maintains her locks. She don't go get a retwist like I do. When her locks were to her butt, she would have to grab a bucket. She would be like in sweats, or I don't know, like a bathing suit. she would be like bending over, and the locks would be in the bucket, and she'll be washing the rest of her head. It looked like a lot of work. And then she'll go live and do her retwist. And it's like, oh my gosh. And she started her locks not with comb coils like me, and not with 2-strand twists, but she actually put braids, small braids in her hair. And then they locked and they turned into locks. I hope she donated her hair. That's amazing. You know what? I think she kept it because she showed the picture. I was like, oh my gosh. But I bet she relieved herself of a lot of work cutting them off. I know, exactly, to her butt, okay? It's like, oh my gosh, that's a whole body workout. Yes, she would be bent over. And when I saw the bucket for the first time, I was like, for real? Oh my gosh, what's next, a tin tub? I mean, she had to be bent over and the locks was in the bucket so that, the lower part would get washed. I was like, oh my gosh. That just seemed really, really deep. And Rocky, who owns Flower Child Lock Hair, she's a nurse. And they make their own products. Her business is like 3 years old, because when the pandemic started and we were all shut down, she had to start like mixing her hydration mix and her oils, figuring it out. And then she started selling them. But there's lots of cool, if you're on Instagram, there's also Sauce Thy Locks. I would definitely recommend following her. Her name is Maury. She talks about, like, she'll always say hydrate every day and oil your scalp 2 to 3 times a week. But she's a Black woman who talks about sunbathing. And she talks about the benefits of being in the sun, how the vitamin D, it gives us energy. It helps regulate sleep, and it stimulates hair growth. And I'm like, see, when I was a loose head, I mean, I don't remember the hairstylist telling you not go for a walk outside. But like this loctician, Maury, she's down in Texas. She will say, go for a walk outside, and that sunlight will stimulate your hair to grow and help the hair follicles. So very educational. And she talks about like when you color your hair, and how the oxidation, how it, like, I guess it starts to change or something. She says that it's a good thing. I can't always can't figure out what she's saying because she's very smart, but she's very educational. So I would follow her as well. Yeah, and that was all that I would say about like my lock journey. And we have been kicking it for almost 3.5 hours. I've been having a good time. I feel like this is the best panel that I have had. So thank you so much to Jackie, Hannah, and Cinnamon Swirl. We learned so much and we had great conversation. I hope y'all had fun too. So please hit the like button. I am going to make some pre-recorded videos this week because about all the separate topics that came out of this one episode. Definitely gonna talk about it, and definitely I will talk with you all soon. So have a good day tomorrow. It's Monday. Don't be anxious. It's gonna be good, and I hope it goes by fast for all of us. What were we gonna say, Jackie?
No, I was just laughing at you when you said don't be anxious.
I know. I can't stand facing Monday. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't say it like that, but it's the truth.
So, and I just wanted to say thank you so much, Styles and Spirit, and French and Cinnamon, and everyone in the chat. I had a blast. Thank you so much.
Yes, we learned a lot, and I appreciate you letting me up. And now You know who I am now.
Yes, I do, Jackie. And I hope y'all come back up. I love having y'all here. So thank you. I'm glad y'all
I will catch you next Sunday if you're here. I'm glad I caught you today. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you so much, Show Style and Spirit. I truly enjoyed it.
Thank you, Show Style.
You're welcome. Y'all take care. Bye.